Chapter 66, 7 of us, 30 of them, almost a fair fight. I'm not that great with third-person POV, so I will use multiple POVs in first person. Tell me what you think about it. Jean's POV. We packed all what looked of value and gathered the bodies around. Unlike the game, bodies rot, and people piss themselves when they die, so we will burn them. What I found really exciting was a necromancy tome called Corpse Explosion. I just couldn't help but grin when I saw it. This spell is just too evil. I opened the first few pages and wanted to try it so bad, but it would take few hours of trial and error to get it done. Other than the large amounts of money we found, we got some jewelry and spell scrolls as well as some pieces of fancy gear and few filled black soul gems. Also some magic staves. I took a liking on a certain flame staff. Magic staves in the Elder Scrolls games were different from other staves in most games, and are not really anything practical. Just imagine them as a tool to cast the same damn spell repeatedly without costing you magicka until the energy of the staff is depleted. I always thought that was impractical and not much different than magic scrolls. As if heaven heard my plea, the staves in real life are not that miserable. They are magical weapons that are based on aspects, which means if a staff is enchanted with flame aspect, then it can cast any flame spell depending on its own energy and the knowledge of the caster. Neat, isn't it? This is also much better than having some random folk carrying staves and think of themselves as mages, and also would make staves have a different use than magic scrolls. This would also make famous staves much more powerful from the ones in the game. And also you people can stop asking about the Wabbajack, Staff of Magnus, Sanguine Rose, the Skull of Corruption. They will have better functions based on their unique style. We gathered what we have and started counting the loot. This was good. We will be rich for some time now. After we distributed the loot into smaller sacks we can carry on our backs, the other things that had value but we can't carry were kept in a chest and buried in one corner in the room. Felt like pirates from those movies. Now let's leave this cave. The last room in the cave had its own passage to the first room we came in. That two-leveled cave room from before. We had to jump a wall like 8 meters, but it wouldn't look good if we landed wrong. Okay, ladies. Featherfall. Who is going first? I evoked Featherfall while saying that. Feather. What? A spell that makes the fall lighter and slower. Hurry up. Joel, show those ladies how it's done. I cast it on Joel, and she jumped the 8 meters and landed slowly like a feather. The guys lost their marbles after they saw it, and started fighting on who to go first. Sure, this spell felt wonderful, just like a parachute. Everyone and their mothers lose their marbles over them. After getting done with it, we headed back to the entrance, but tech. Shit, my face became yellow and my head felt light. I couldn't even count how many sounds my alarm spell made in my head. What's the matter? Joel asked. We've got company. Canute's POV. I stood outside the cave with my men after we got the report from that weasel in Dawnstar. The place we stood at was a wall of ice that overlooked the passage to Hobbs Fall Cave. We saw clearly what can go in and out from here. Beside me was that weasel and his boys. How can he be so short and slimy, yet call himself a Nord? Are you sure it was him? I asked. Absolutely, Captain Canute. A kid came to Dawnstar and hired a crew for his ship. His name is John Dare, as the message from that puppet said. The weasel said. Those guys are supposed to take care of him, but you said he had people when he entered? Yes, Captain. 7 of them. Those dirty cultists can deal with that just fine. What of that ship of his? I saw it over the coast there, but it sailed away after that guy got down with his men. Idiot. Why didn't you send one of your men after it? If we captured it, the leader will be pleased. Now all we need is that brat's head. Send some of your scouts to talk with the cultists before the sun sets. I want to be back at the sea in an hour. Yes, Captain. We got wind of that bastard. I thought he would take the land road and came all the way from Dawnstar to greet him here, but to think he took the sea. Now he is cornered like a rat. Hee. I'll show you the fate of those who mingle with the blood horkers business. John's POV. 7 spectral owls of mine surveyed the sky. I think this is going to be tough. How many, Captain? Angium asked. 30-something. The faces around me got paled. Come on. It's 7 of us, 30 of them, almost a fair fight. Haha. I joked with them to ease the mood. I thought for a second and came up with something. Good news is, they didn't find our ship. Better news is, we will make one hell of an escape. I have a plan. They looked at me as if they saw their Lord and Savior. You 3, run back to that room and bring that big smooth wooden table and all the ropes you can find. You have 5 minutes. Jal, Angium, Jal. 3 men will be coming from this passage. Invite them in as you are cultists, then kill them cleanly with no drop of blood. I will stay here and prepare. I have a big plan in mind, one that needs a lot of preparations. I will put all my power into the next spells I am going to cast. First, I was already low on juice, so I drank a Magicka potion and felt my body overflow with Magicka. The next step was to make sure about that the enemy's movements. I covered the area above them with few familiar falcons. I can get information of what my conjured familiars see, but not clearly, so I had to get the best vibe possible. The enemies actually had a ship too, and it was away from mine, thankfully. Still, this confirmed that they are pirates. I was far from done. My potion bag had a side pocket, and it had few alchemist's fire flasks given to me by Nerina. I took them out and put them neatly aside. Few seconds later, the 3 boys brought the big table I asked for. Now flip it on its top, tie the ropes there and there, don't let them get loose. You call yourself a sailors. My mother can do ties better than this. I instructed them around while cracking jokes. These guys were nervous. Now, ladies, watch the magic. I evoked a spell on my hands and put a lot of magics into them. After the cast, the void formed and 3 fiery creatures appeared. Terra, 3 beautiful flame Atronak horses. Now tie them to the table. The boys looked at each other and didn't want to believe what they saw. The captain is just too glorious. He can scare the hole in when his mood changes, knows stuff about treasures no one heard before, can shout the legendary war cry, and now can summon horses we haven't seen before. I also heard that the captain can use the Thursday Just do what he said, or you will make him angry. These rude fellows are actually starting to lose it. Anyway, our glider was ready in no time. Jal and company brought back 3 corpses and put them in front of me. By the gods, Angium and Jal lost it when they saw the horses. Get me the bodies, I can only use 2 of them. Use? Jal asked. Look, this is a desperate time. I will have to perform a forbidden ritual, just for the sake of getting us out of here. I will use some of that. Necromancy, I said with a grim face. Nothing but an act, though. What? The people around me got scared. This magic always comes with a price if I am not a Daedra worshipper. So, I will have to suffer the consequences, but it will be worth it when we make it out alive. All of us. I'll be able to hold on for an hour, then I might collapse. When I do, Jellinar, please take care of me. To the public, necromancy is a foul ritual that only get done by people of evil. If I performed it normally in front of them, they will take the wrong image of me and may cause harm to the reputation of the college later. John, please don't do it. You might not survive it. The lady told me. Jellinar joined the act perfectly. She talked in front of others with ease and made it look dramatic. This evil minion of mine is the best follower ever. I am sorry, Joel. If you can at least make it, then it will be all worth it. Making a touchy scene was an easy task. I read some shoujo novels at some point, so I knew the tricks around this genre. Now from the mage who will perform a dark ritual to the hero who will save the day. I stood on 2 corpses, evoked, reanimate, and charged. I focused on the effects a bit to manipulate the hue and create a strong blue light with the spell. I tried to make my voice as rough as possible, or as rough as Morbagok. Theb started chanting a death metal song from my past life. I call upon the ancient demons of Underworld to bring forth this beast, and awaken, 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 take the land, the must be taken, awaken, 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 devour, worlds, smite, forsaken. This song is Bat Metal Forever. Those who did not watch it, I don't know what you are doing with your lives, just go watch it now. I was barely trying to hold myself from laughing. Jellinar, who always hid her face behind a cover and under a hood, was holding her breath with her hand, and her shoulders were shaking. I know she was also holding it hard. Jal came and kept patting Joel's back. I finally finished the first verse of the song and cast the spell. God, I almost farted from holding the laughter. 2 corpses were surrounded with blue light and started to stand up. They looked scary. This was my first time doing that on a human corpse. I always practiced this spell on mice and skeevers. There are many differences between necromancy and conjuration, and the most important one is control. One can control reanimated undead much easier than conjure Daedra. Daedra are living beings with egos and feelings, so much alive that you can communicate with the intelligent ones of them. One can also converse with the conjured Draemora freely. All of that made their control a bit of a hurdle. Atranax are elemental Daedra that are much easier than Draemora, who are living speaking ones. If a mage can conjure a Draemora, then bounding it needs a lot of power, but it's always worth it. Draemora are fearsome and proud fighters. Undead are beings that are controlled by a fake soul that gets created by the necromancer. That's why necromancy sometimes falls under the aspect of soul. However, the fake soul actually destroys the body as long as it is not perfect, until it reaches the point of disintegrating all the flesh and turning the undead from a zombie into a skeleton. The better the fake soul was casted, the more the zombie form would last. If it was a thrall spell, then the fake soul would be formed into something akin to perfection and doesn't disintegrate the body for a long time. All in all, controlling an undead is a piece of cake, as they have no life or ego compared to summoning a high-grade Daedra. That's why the necromancy is so popular. I can control 7 undead now, but only 3 Daedra. Back to the present. My 2 zombies stood in their dead faces. Joel, please put a fire rune spell on each that explodes remotely. After that, hide these flasks in their pockets. It's not that I was having a problem or anything. It's just that controlling 2 undead and 3 horse Atranax was somewhat not easy. I have to trap these pirates and everything should look perfect. The sun was setting, but it was still dangerous for undead to walk under it. They had to be hid from sunlight perfectly. After Jellinar was done, the undead walked as I commanded and reached the entrance of the cave. Everyone was ready on the table glider, holding their blades and bows. This will be so much fun. Canute's POV. This is taking a lot of time. The shitty cultists are having trouble or something. I want to end this and hurry up to the sea. I get landsick if I am not on my ship. Finally, 2 of them went out and waved for us to come. Did those cultists get wiped out or something? What a pain. I took my men and walked around the wall for a minute or 2. This cave is gloomy as ever. Fits those Daedra worshippers and their air. As we reached the cave, these 2 weasels didn't even say anything and stood there. Did they catch brain rot or something? One of my men went ahead to teach them a lesson. Why would I care anyway? Why aren't you 2 talking? Say some. What is? Something happened? These 2 are attacking. Wait, they became undead? What's going on? The 2 undead ran at our flanks, but it felt unnatural. They are being controlled skillfully. It felt dangerous. Pin them down and destroy them quickly. I said what my instincts told me. Something very fishy is happening. I was right. Something happened. I saw light and fire eating my men afterwards. Fire exploded from the undead. Evil. Green. Fire. I couldn't hear it. No, I can't hear anything. My ears are ringing. I can't even stand straight. I was blown away. My men. Torn apart. Everywhere. I survived. I called and called. Only screams answered me. Half of my men were swallowed by fire. The other half got blown away. I was lucky. Gather up. Help them. I shouted for the men that were blown away, but just like me, they could barely stand. Captain, this is alchemist's fire. We need to run. Its fumes are poisonous. I am not abandoning my men. Yes, I will never abandon them. Like that day. Against that woman. Captain, something is coming. One of my men pushed my away. He said something is coming? What more? I was pushed, but I saw something. Horses. No. Demons. Fire demons. Pulling something. Am I seeing things? A bunch of boys being pulled by fire demons. Is this all a nightmare? The man who pushed me was slashed at by a boy. Wait, that boy. With red hair. With blue eyes. Just like them. Just like her. He is. Firemane. Jean's POV. A grand explosion sounded. I used the best bomb flasks on that one. Alchemist's fire, a green poisonous fire that burns all organic matters and make poisonous fumes. These were made by Nurina, and I had every urge to try them. Now deep from the cave, I could peek at the glorious explosion. As the undead were destroyed, I could at last put better control at the horse Atronax and start the run. I also cast Bound Spear, which gave me a 2.5 meters long Daedric spear with a glaive-like blade. The horses ran and the glider began making noise. Hoo-hoo, let's show these fucktards. Go Captain. Captain John. Forever. Everyone was hyped for this escape. I was hyped the most. I aimed at a large man that appeared like the leader and wanted his head, but one of his men pushed him and took the slash instead. Fine by me. I felt the spear was less practical this way, so I dispelled it and used chain lightning instead. The narrow passage to the cave, which was filled with pirates, now became much clearer, and we passed them beautifully. After the end of the passage, I turned the horses right and continued the run on the wasteland of snow beside the coastline. The flame Atronac horses showed their true might in an open space. A 3-horsepower table glider on snow was not something to mess around with. I don't know if it existed or not, but I'll call this the Nordic war glider that was inspired from the Egyptian war chariot. Captain, aren't we going to signal the ship to bring us a boat? Ongium shouted. You are so old school. I'll show you how I did things in Rift In. I fixed the glider to a certain direction, the place where WHE hid the ship in. It is a place with a high piece of land with a steep cliff that will block the view from the land, and had a high rock on the opposite side in water that will block the view from the sea. Now I am heading towards the cliff. Now, ladies, make sure that your sacks are tied very well to your backs. This will get crazy. I started casting a certain spell on my crew. They took no time in recognizing it. Featherfall. Jal realized what was happening and opened her eyes widely. I couldn't help but smile. The horse Atronax ran to the cliff and everyone started shouting. My next instructions were about how to jump from the sides just when the table glider is midair. As the horses were about to reach the edge, I banished them and jumped to the side, and so the rest did. It was really a parachute spell. People can get addicted to this feeling. As we jumped, the table glider, taken by its speed, flied to the other side and fell into the water. Trudvar and the sailors were alerted by it and looked up to see us skydiving. One can control the direction of the fall slightly, so it all went well. Even though we were jumping from a 30 meters cliff, everyone landed safely, and I landed with a style. Move your asses right now. Pirates on our 6. Those who lays will get Ice Bucket Challenge. Store the loot. Release the sails by order. We have good winds. Run for it, you dogs, haha. I gave a series of orders under the effect of adrenaline. Everyone was running around. My only fear was the pirates getting to their ship and chasing us. I gave them a good beating, but I don't think it was enough to cripple them completely, especially when that leader survived my attack. Now, let's just head to the sea. My ship is fast and can maneuver in shallow water unlike theirs. I guided the ship out of the narrow area with my scan and sailed fast into the sea. I was not leaving anything for fate, as I always kept the area around the ship under surveillance. After an hour, a ship appeared at our 6. I am sure the pirates are coming seeking blood. I was prepared for the bitter battle to come. I can't allow their big ship to come near to mine. This would bring me a disaster. I am not sure how many of their fighting force left, but I still have many tricks in my sleeve. Firemane boy, I will kill you. I'll burn your bones and drink your blood. Da fuck. Who is that? That captain I failed to kill. I guess he found out my identity. Don't know how, but I am not letting you off now. Ongium, go between these rocks. Make them follow us there. Yes, Captain. Joel, bring that flame staff that we looted and a soul gem. She nodded and ran. I started using scan on a wide range and detected all the obstacles under and above the water. My ship was sailing around the small rocks like a fish. The pirates took their time, but they followed us when they thought we may escape on land. Now back to the sea. Do it slowly. Let them catch up for now. Canute's POV. A firemain. A damn firemain. I will never forgive these bastards. They will pay. That woman shall pay. This boy too. Just like her. 14 years ago. She burned my men with the same smile. This crazed smile. I'll kill this brat. And that woman too. Then all of them firemainies. I'll burn them alive. Gah. Catch them already. Why is that piece of trash is sailing in shallow water? After them. I'll never let you go. Even beyond the gates of oblivion. They are slowing down, Captain. This must be a trap. They can't trap us in water. After them. Ram their ship. We are finally beside them. Now, where will you go, kid? Hee hee hee. Careful. The foremast. No. Watch out, Captain. What was that? What is that? The mast? Flying away? No. Don't let him get away. Captain. The ship is stuck between rocks. They are casting magic, Captain. Gah. You all are trash. Wah. What is that? I saw fire. This is not from the kid's direction. It came from the sky. Damn it. Fucking. Fire. Manies. John's POV. A minute earlier. They are catching up, Captain. Perfect. Make them come to our right side. They will ram us, Captain. Let them try. Now, they are beside us and planning to ram us. Sigh. Those pirates will have it hard. Well, sorry not sorry. Fussaro da. I aimed the unrelenting force shout at their foremast. The pirate ship took a strong turn to the right and crashed hard into some rocks near the shoreline. The foremast got blown away, and a strong sounds of wood being broken sounded. This was a crippling move now to the last phase. Joel, the things. She gave me the flame staff and the soul gem. My plan was to give them a rain of fireballs. I wanted to use the staff because I have used a lot of magicka today, and I was actually exhausted after the last shout. Using the staff was simple. It's just an extension to one's own hand. Here we go. Charge and cast. Perfect. Once again. Char. Kaboom. Mommy. What was that? Did anyone hear that embarrassing scream? John. Look. Joel said and pointed at the pirate ship. Holy baby Talos. The ship exploded. This was just one fireball. Not even overcharged. What the hell? Was that ship loaded with explosive? Don't tell me. Is it this staff? What in oblivion is going on? Tears POV. Oh boy. He did it again. This John is just this annoying. I guess we have two annoying Johns now. They are more annoying than each other. Say, old Tyr, are all of your clansmen that nuts? Glimp, my old friend, is just standing there spouting nonsense too. He is a monster on Jonrad's level too. Why is he branding the family as nuts? Actually, we are. But my relative and brother-in-law Jonrad, as well as my sister Hilda, and their son John Hild are completely on another level of nuts. Sigh. Nicely done, old John. Glimp said, welcoming back our troublemaker. Was it really necessary? The kid was handling it just fine. I couldn't help but complain. Relax. It would have been troublesome if someone returned alive to the blood sales. Old John said, it would be a problem if they sent someone to investigate. Right. After that act from 14 years ago, we can't afford to give the clans any wind about young John. Not until he becomes able enough. This kid is dead to the rest of the world. Once they know he is still alive, even our allies will turn against us. But I think the kid won't disappoint us. I have never seen anyone escape from pirates on a table before. Foo-foo-foo. Glimp was laughing softly, but Jonrad and I understood what he was laughing at. After all, he did that scry spell to show us everything that happened in the cave. Ha ha ha. I laughed too. Ha ha ha. My boy is just too good. Even Jonrad was laughing hard. Ha ha. Fine friends, we had fun this year. Yeah, where will we find you next year, Glimp? I'll go around Skyrim for a while. and visit Loneth and old Fulthame later. He is at that Nightgate village, right? Yeah. Well, see you there then. Glemp turned around and just walked. Sigh. What a simple guy. Back home we go, old John. Yeah. It has been years. Chapter 67, Thane of Winterhold. The only thing I can think about is this big explosion. Thankfully, the crew didn't hear my pitiful scream that time. Still, what a mystery. I tried the staff, but it was really normal. I mean, it functions better than most staves, but the damage output is normal. My only theory is that the pirates had some explosive substance that reacted to the fire and gone kaboom. Well, after the explosion I acted as if the forbidden magic from before took a toll on me and walked weakly to my cabin. The crew members that came with me made a tantrum about how great I am and a small party was thrown to my honor, but I actually was too tired to care. Still, I made sure to gather those who came into the cave with me and gave them a lecture of how important it is to keep the matter of the forbidden spell a secret, or the vigilance of Stander will come after all of us. We will reach Winterhold by tomorrow before nightfall. Ongium reported to me in my cabin. Good. I'll leave the crew to you. Make sure that some get rooms in the Frozen Hearth Inn and some guard in the ship. They exchange roles every day. Yes, Captain. Also, there will be a list of things you will sail here and there to buy for me. I'll make sure to get us permission to fly the flag of the college. Will we work with the college? It's better to be safe for the time being. We may change flags next year, but we need safety now. Captain Geldof may start giving you some jobs, so answer to him, but keep reporting to me. I had to make some rules for the ship and give good treatment for the crew. They are my people now. What I was worried about was the Jarl being a jackass during the coming part of the plan, but I have to trick him into wearing a helmet. Anything else, Captain? Ongium said on his way out. Where is Jull? Lady Julliner is brooding on the quarterdeck. Pfft. Ha ha ha. Ongium said few words that doesn't fit a single sentence. Lady Jull. Brooding. More like writing a poem for today's massacre. Sorry, Ongium, but please call her for me. Of course, Captain. A minute after Ongium left and Jull's came with an expressionless face. Need something? I pointed at the bed and said, Sit down. We have something to do tonight. Here we go. John, I can't take it this anymore. What? Just take it. Don't move your body too much. This is just too big for me to handle. My head felt like getting pierced because of it. Just breath. Maybe you didn't try one this scale before, but amateurs experience this when they try a big one. It's exhausting. I almost fainted. Next time, remember to synchronize the flow with me. We will get the best result that way. Lady Nerina and Lady Faralda said that it's easier than this. Even when they did it together, they were doing it naturally with no problems. What? They did it in front of you? Yeah. Lady Nerina was teaching me few techniques. Oh, I was planning to teach you these stuff myself. Such a letdown. Shall we go again? Okay. Don't scream if it hurts you. Just let me know and I'll stop. We are now using a technique called combined casting. Combined casting is a technique of casting magic that requires more than just one caster to apply a part of a spell's runes and combine it with the other parts made by another caster's, then they would cast it together. This is one of the most difficult ways to cast magic. Simply speaking, one may have enough magicka but can't apply this number of runes on his own, so she borrows the runes made by another caster. But as the runes will be split, the control will be split too, so everyone needs to synchronize the magicka flow with the other, or the spell will crumble. This requires knowledge of even the bad habits of the other caster while they cast the spell together. Asking a novice like Jull to perform such a complicated process would make her brain to overheat, but I have no other option here. What are we trying to apply here is an enchantment, and it is the most complicated thing I ever seen. Still, I myself is the one who drew these runes on that sheet. This rune sheet was akin to a high-tech blueprint that has every single detail explained. After I finished this rune sheet, I felt like I went from the realm of magical runes to the realm of programming. Still, I know nothing about programming. What is the enchantment, you want to know? Well, the effects of insinuating, persuading, and many other effects from the illusion school were put into this enchantment. What I was trying to recreate is something similar to Bindwill, a very powerful Thursdam that will make everyone and everything obey. Of course, it was impossible to recreate it either by a spell or an enchantment. I wasn't frustrated or depressed over that. Actually, I expected as much. That's why I tried my best to get close to it as much as possible. I poured 2 days of pure thinking into that rune sheet before I head to Dawnstar. My ideas were stalked up on each other, and I made this enchantment somehow. But it needed many conditions to work. I also added few safety mechanisms so that it appear as a magical enchantment with a beneficial effect that protects from magical illusions. Anyone would want that. Also, from the loot we took, I chose a very old yet fancy and expensive-looking helm that was forged beautifully and had few gems on it. It looked good enough to me. I want to go to Winterhold straight up to career, put the damn thing on his head, and do the magic. It won't be easy, but I am no one if I don't have a plan. Let's try again, Joel. Yes. After a day, we finally finished it. My head is as heavy as a rock now. I made some effort into that damn thing. This thing has a very unique effect. It would give the wearer a magical fortification against illusions, but will also leave one crack open. Think of it as mind backdoor. I use that backdoor to alter the way the wearer thinks. Putting aside my horrible naming sense, this helm is just how you think of it. A treasure made by a genius that will protect the aspect of mind, but will leave it open to a certain keyword. It is not a perfect artifact too. It is just a way to turn people ideas from a direction to another. Also, you can't just say kill yourself and expect it to work. If you wanted to use it for such a purpose, then you need to say something more acceptable and easy for the mind to slip into. Something like a small suggestion. The idea of insinuating itself is a bit devilish. It came to me from a certain drama about the devil that I used to watch in my past life. Lucifer. This was the basis. I also had to try it on someone, and Joel didn't show any opposition to the idea. I think she don't understand what is the idea behind the helm anyway. Whatever. The helm worked on her, and I finally managed to persuade her with something that will benefit her very much. Of course, I will not change her personality or do anything to harm her. She just had a bad eating habit, so I thought it was a way to fix it. My Jelena should just stay crazy and beautiful as ever. I love her the way she is. After the day of hard work, I went out and joined the crew. My people were doing their job without me just fine. Had enough rest, Captain? Yes, thank you, Angium. Did we pass the island of Iskramor's tomb already? Yes, Captain. We will reach Winterhold in less than 2 hours. That was fast. Lady Luck is smiling on us, Captain. Let's just laze around for now. The sea is peaceful, and I started falling in love with sailing. Something about it is charming, especially when the ship starts running on wind and the sea becomes easy. I have a favorite spot on the side of the ship where I just cling to the shrouds and feel the wind on my face. Shrouds. The net of ropes under tension that are used to support masts. If I can save this moment and experience it for many times, how great would that be? Still, human's life is about moving on. Wah. Watch out. What's the? A sailor is slipping from the ship. This is on the other side. Damn it. No one can reach him. He is even farther from the range of my grip spell. Fuck it. Gotta run fast. I pushed with my right foot ahead with the intention of running to the other side, but something abnormal occurred. I had to run at least 12 meters, and with my strong body, they would take 4 steps. But I took nearly 8 of the 12 meters with 1 step, and had to stop my body forcefully the remaining 4 meters. I caught the sailor before her falls, but I caught him with 1 hand and carried him normally. He is large, but I just carried him like that. Something is not right. When did I become this strong? What is happening? Clap, clap, clap. The sailors were excited once and making another applause. I had to smile and get myself away in my cabin somehow. Just as I got in, I looked around for something. Here it is. That tankard. This tankard was made from iron, and it was been a bit due to me tightening my grip on it some time ago. I was just trying to release some frustration. I held it again and tightened my grip. As expected, it bent like a cartoon cup. That is impressive. Joel, who was previously in the cabin, was taken aback and looked at me strangely. I don't know, but I wasn't like that last time I bent this tankard. When was that? 2 nights ago. Joel thought for a while and pondered left and right. I was with you the whole time, but nothing special happened. She said, I know, we just went to the cave, and all I did was casting magic since then. We went silent for a while, but I had an idea and undressed myself. Is there anything unnatural with my body? Jelinar came and started pushing her hands on my muscles. I bathed with you, so I remember the shape of your muscles and it didn't change. Still, they feel harder as if they got thicker. How is that? I don't know. Just do that embarrassing pose you do when you finish training. Oh, okay. See, before, they were not that hard, but something changed. She said, I am a bit worried now. I made this body strong by training like mad, but this result is a bit unnatural even for this world. I don't have any magic to detect what is going on with my muscles, so guessing was the only way now. Let's do a quick recheck over the past few days. We started remembering what we did from the day I left the college, to the pirate fight and how I acquired the ship to Dawnstar, and the Aura fight, then to the cave invasion and the pirate fight afterwards. Up until now, there is nothing strange. I feel like we missed something. I don't know. Did you consume or absorb something weird? Ate food from the ground? Slept you, Indy? I had to knock on her head with a finger swiftly to make her stop. My body strength is uncontrollable now. Wait a minute. You said absorb. I indeed absorbed something. I remembered now. Was it that? It would be crazy if that was the reason. Super crazy. Go fetch Mjal for me, please. No, I feel nothing strange. I remember sharing vitality with you. Thought. You sure nothing is out of the norm? Yes. Are you feeling unwell after it, boss? No. Thank you for the concern, but that's another matter. You can go, sis Mjal. She excused herself and went out. As a temporary member of the crew, she heard the rumors about me and Joel that is going out among the crew, so she didn't want to stay in the cabin and went out fast. Joel is being called lady by the sailors because of it. Back to the current concern. I remembered something I absorbed when we were heading to Hobbs Fall Cave. This was the ice troll's vitality when we fought that time. During the fight, the troll attacked Mjal fiercely, and I was trying to damage its vitality while supporting Mjal. That time, I used Absorb Vitality, which is an incomplete spell on the troll. At the same time, I also used Transfer Vitality on Mjal. I could just simply heal her, but I was worried about having more vitality than I should have. I thought it may harm my body, so I supplied some and absorbed some. Was the vitality varied in nature like Magicka too? Something like different forms of energy? It indeed is. What am I saying? But this was a bit different from expected. I absorbed the of vitality from the troll in an equal amount to that what I supplied to Mjal and the others. Now that I think about it, I think I used the vitality of my own to support my team, but the vitality of the troll still dwelled within me. Another weird idea came to me. I took a dagger and injured my finger. I gave it some Magicka to make the healing faster. It should take about 10 minutes to fully heal this small wound just by focusing pure Magicka on it, but the result has some changes. It took 7 minutes. This is weird. My natural healing is faster. My strength is a bit more than my norm. I know warriors that can be much stronger than that, but this is quite the feat. To move 8 meters in a single step from absorbing the troll's vitality for 10 minutes is terrifying. I am not abnormally strong like a troll, but I am stronger than the me from before. This is amazing, but also scary. This is an unpredicted progress with not much known about it. I need to research it more. God, when will I ever finish these researches? If I added this to the horde of researches I have, I may faint from shock. Let's just not think of bad things anymore. Yes, relax. Release the anchor. Take the sails down. The cargo. Send people over here. Winterhold docks. Tiny as ever. Good thing we will have our place to keep the ship now. My head is spinning. Joel. The thing? Ready. Trudvar, my man. Run to Alishka. Tell her to get everyone in place. As you wish. I started to walk the steps up to Winterhold while whistling. This felt rather refreshing. I am going to mess with Career's brain now. The steps took some time, but we were already there. I dressed myself in my clean college robes and Joel was in her dark-fitting armor holding a tray covered with a red piece of silk. Of course the helm was under it. Ongium and Jal walked around me like some mini-bosses around the main boss, and directly we went to the Jarl's longhouse. Trudvar met me on the way and nodded, then went back where he came from. This was a signal that meant nothing is out of the ordinary. I had no time to waste now. The area in front of the longhouse was filled with people from around the town. Alishka's role the past few days was to spread rumors through the inn as the best place to spread rumors. Now everyone has heard a thing or two about what is going on. She also increased the number of the so-called cheerleaders and also included the future bathhouse wenches in their ranks. This will be good. Guards surrounded the entrance as usual, and the Dunlain Malar Seloth, the steward of career, was shouting at the people to send them away. Sir Mage has arrived. Sir Mage, divine save you. Sir Mage this. Sir Mage that. Okay, what is going on here? Am I this popular? I don't know any one of these people. Make way. Ongium acted like a bodyguard and shouted at the people. Well, that was unnecessary. We can just move between them politely like these old politicians from my past life. Kiss babies, take selfies. Nothing of that is here anyway. I walked straight to the Jarl's door. Once Malar Seloth saw me, his gray skin started changing color. This is my first time seeing a Dunmer's face changing color. The helm of Winterhold is retrieved. The people demand an audience. This was me saying, come out, bitch. Malar looked around me. I was coming here with a number like usual. He looked around for a while, then appeared to have arrived to an idea and ran into Career. After a short time, Career came out with an indifferent face. I don't know what is he thinking, but my safe arrival should put his mood into shambles. Still, he was composed. Jarl Career, I traveled by sea to the bleak cave of Hobbs Fall, invaded the place with a small force of mighty Nord youth, destroyed a cult of an evil god that laid waste to that part of the land, and finally retrieved the helm of Winterhold, the same one from the old texts. I made a speech, and passed the guards rudely with force and stood on the steps leading to the longhouse talking to the Jarl and the people. Really now? Career said, not minding me at all. Why don't you show us that helm of Winterhold of yours? His tone was haughty and indifferent. I actually don't know how he is going to counter this, but I was using scan to detect what they might come up with. I felt that Malar Seloth was carrying something akin to a Nordic helm behind his back. So they are going to do it this way, huh? Still, I don't think their plan will work. I clicked my fingers and Jellinar came with the tray she was holding. Ladies and gentlemen, Jarl Career and his venerable men, I present to you the helm of Winterhold. Jellinar held the tray high over her head, and I took the red piece of silk away. It was jaw-dropping how the helm I brought was beautiful. Its worth was equal to the whole town itself. Gold and gems were all over it. I don't know from where the cultists brought such a thing, but it was one of the most expensive treasures they have. This is not just a beautiful helm that came from the first era. This is an almighty magic artifact. Artifact? Gods. The poor town of Winterhold rarely saw a golden coin, let alone an artifact. Indeed, it has the ability to defy any magic being cast at you. This helm was known to be a strong item that used against mages. I took the helm and presented it to Career, who took it with greed in his eyes. Mueller, is this helm that almighty? Mueller changed the hand that was carrying the helm behind him and put his hand on the one I brought. It indeed can nullify magic, but I don't recognize the enchantment. Of course, huh? I said, laughing. It is ancient after all. It may be more expensive than any Jarl's helm. I said, then looked at Alishka. She looked to the people beside her and said something, then they started to make an applause. Mostly they demanded Career to put it on. I was standing near to him and saw that his eyes couldn't leave it. The magical power of the crowd kicked in and they all demanded him to wear it. He tried to look dignified and put it on his head. Hee. Now it's my turn. I needed only to give him an idea. This looks good on you, my Jarl. Maybe you should make it a part of your official attire. Career thought indifferently, but this was just perfect. Now the idea was in his mind. Now the next step is to whisper. A whisper only Career can hear. Program 1. Make it a part of your official attire. Program 1. Activate. Career in different expressions changed, and he showed signs of agreeing to my opinion. Haha, it looks good. It will indeed give me some appearance between the Jarls. Perfect. Just perfect. This was the true function of the enchantment. Altering ideas. Changing opinions. Just as I give the Whisper program, the current idea in the head gets altered completely according to the order-following program. It's indeed a version of Bend Will, but it needs many conditions to work. Haha, congratulations, Jarl. I guess now I get my end of the deal. Career's face turned grumpy once again, but I only had to whisper. Program 2, make things easy for me. Program 2, activate. Career's face, which was grumpy a while ago, changed expressions and nodded. You have done a great service for me in my hold. I name you Thane of Winterhold, and I assign you that boy, what's his name? Trudvar, to be your personal housecarl. I also grant you permission to buy land in my hold, and I'll grant you a blade as a token from my personal armory. May it serve you well in battle. The people who were noisy a while ago were silent as the dead. It took them a while to process what they heard and started cheering madly. After they calmed down, I thanked Career and shook his hand to give him an appearance. Malar Seloth, on the other hand, was lagging from what happened. I guess this ended well. I had one last thing I wanted to try. Is this your steward, my Jarl? Yes, Malar may be a dumbair, but he is a helpful man. Hee. All right, let's keep him busy. Program 3, Malar is a possible love interest. Program 3, activate. Chapter 68, 1 month of development. A month has passed since that day with Jarl Career. It was a month filled with paying money, spending money, and taking out more money. My wealth that I cultivated since the day I became a thief was slashed by half. I bought the 2 large pieces of land in front of the college's bridge, sent the ship and hired some carriages to bring me stuff from around Skyrim, hired Marn from the Creation Club to be my engineer, hired all the free laborers in Winterhold to be lumberjacks and masons, invested with some blacksmiths to reopen their jobs, gave the management of the Soul Gem business to Trudvar as he will look after my relationship with Whispering Mine and the Master Huntsman, and gave Alishka some funds to start putting the girls under lovemaking training and a healthy diet to puff the assets of their frail bodies. I also made some advertising to the bathhouse in the college, which was widely supported, but I kept it unrelated to me. My title as the owner will be kept a secret, but I may appear as the one who made it easy for the bathhouse mistress to open the business here. Of course, I own most 80% of the bathhouse, as I decided to give Alishka 20%. I also promised the employees that the earnings of a 10% will be shared between them as a monthly bonus. This will make them put more effort into their jobs. Some new girls wanted to work, so Alishka interviewed them, and I gave permission. Some of the girls asked not to take the lovemaking part of the business for lower wages than the ones who does. Alishka advised me to accept them anyway. She said most of the girls who ask for that will change their opinions in a matter of 2 months and will take the whole job. What annoyed her was the rule I said about the girls who are under 18 years of age. I insisted that girls under this age won't even take part at the bath business and will take other miscellaneous jobs. She agreed after I told her that it was not about money but for the girls themselves. Of course, bathhouses don't just offer a bathing and a lovemaking service. There is a hairdressing service as well as a laundry and a healing service, so this project will not be just focused on just the companionship part. The building of the bathhouse will take the eastern part of the land, which was nothing but old broken houses. It was directly on the left hand when one go out of the college. Unlike other bathhouses in Solitude and Rift Inn, which were outdoors in tents and drew water from rivers, this bathhouse will be a 2-story big wooden building with many rooms surrounding a central courtyard on a wide space of land. It would look somehow like the Chinese structure of courtyards, but I made this way because those girls will live there, and it has to be their safe home and stronghold. There will also be an underground basement, which I really took time persuading the workers to dig. Of course, the underground basement will serve as a place to keep our magical devices. We will use the technologies that I employed the Creation Club to make. The magical water pumping device and the magical water desalination device. After taking care of the facility, we started putting the employees into their jobs. I didn't think highly of the healing service as most of the customers will be from the college and can at least use the simplest healing spells, so the training was mostly about how to use razors and scissors for the hairdressing job. The laundry job was easy and students can do that just fine. Maybe some of the teachers and the busy evokers will use it. The employees will be the girls and the guards. Of course, we can never rely on town guards for this business. I had now picked a security team from Trudvar friends and will be led by him. I spar with them few times to hone their skill and tough them how to be professional classy guards, not just some thugs. They were also promised free 3 hours a week in the bathhouse beside their normal wage. The guards won't be just guarding the bathhouse. They will guard all the establishments I build after that, such as my house and the other coming projects. And of course their number shall increase. Other than Trudvar's security team, the girls will be under the management of Alishka. Alishka is a professional at this business, no matter how much she hated to return to it herself. Actually, she was like a magician in this business. I would never have reached that point without her help. She taught the girls everything from the lovemaking techniques to the etiquette with the guests and how to act and react. I was impressed. This was beyond my understanding most of the time. I had to spy on her lectures in the private room I booked for them in the inn to understand how this job went. It is very complicated and had many rules that I got a crazy headache just putting it together. Rather than that, Alishka made a ranking for the girls. Working girls who will take miscellaneous work as their main, and the bathing work only in the peak times. Normal bathing girls who will be the usual bathwenches and the regular workforce. And finally, girls like she once used to be, the queen bees, the most expensive girls in the bathhouse, and those will be considered the premium girls because of their outstanding looks and talent in lovemaking. According to her, we have 6 of those, which is a very high number. Alishka also sent a message to her friend Xena in Solitude to invite her here. Xena had a few complications in her life, as she is a fugitive from Hammerfell, and Winterhold will be safer for her than Solitude. I also would love to have that girl here. She is only one that can go against me in one-on-one with that infinite stamina of hers. As my previous promise stated to the girls, those who will show talent in learning how to read, write, and calculate. More than that, the girls who will show a magic talent will be considered as the pioneers in our business plan and get to be the force behind the future projects. This will be all there is to it. I made a ledger and taught Alishka the paperwork details and how to write reports. Also, one of the queen bees, a Nord girl called Siv, will be her secretary. They set the services on a high price, so just not anyone can get the service of a queen bee. They also rain me with questions about how much money a regular student would carry. I myself am not that optimistic. I made my wealth after years of hard work and gaining a nickname like Catatosker with its bloody Hello Kitty tattoo. I don't think any student shall be as wealthy as I. Also, mages are not that good in terms of body strength and stamina. A queen bee can turn a poor mage into a dried corpse between her legs. I made a big journal for all the important details of the bathhouse and put it away. Next is my ship, the Alexandria. One can't just start imagining how awesome it is to have that small ship coming and going between the docks and Skyrim, as most of the stuff I wanted was the prioritized goods this ship transports. Nurina also made full use of the ship, as well as my friends in the Creation Club. Now Angium was the vice captain and made every trip on his own. He took few boys from Winterhold as trainees, and his name became known in town as one of my henchmen. The last piece of business was the general goods store. Berna and her brother Ranmir ran the store. They were NPCs from the game, and I know some of their lore. Berna was a grumpy girl in the game, as most of her business was nothing but oddments, and her brother was a depressed drunkard due to some tragedy. This seemed not to have happened yet, as both of them were energetic and offered to do business with me. They wanted to make food and vegetables trading partnership, as my ship will provide them with the goods. I think I need one more ship now. All in all, in this past month, I made Winterhold work like nothing before. Money started going around the town as business increased and life signs appeared after many years in town. Of course, it wasn't all easy and sparkling. I was faced some opposition with some of the local folk. Some folk were on the same old creed of, mages can't be trusted, and started going around saying all sort of shit about me. I really didn't want this to happen, and I am not foolish enough to act as these small words won't harm me. After all, a butterfly wing can cause a storm, And for an Egyptian who witnessed the political events between 2011 and 2013, I would never do the mistake of letting rumors go around freely. The one who reacted to that first were my sailors and Captain Geldofs. In their eyes, I made a strong image, so they stood up for me. Same goes for those whose works were associated with me. Basically, every young person who was tired of the way things were and couldn't leave the town were on my side. Old folk, however, were stubborn as usual. The confrontations were in the first week, but I made a rumor about me moving from the college to live in town after I built a house. This made me get closer to many people. The second opposition was more expected than the first. It was my friend Jal. Jal caught wind about me being the main partner in the bathhouse business and almost made a scene about it. She accused me making the girls sell their bodies for money, and she was disappointed and all that hero nonsense. I can't actually imagine how simple can the world work into her head. I knew this would happen, so I prepared the right girls for the job. Alishka and the queen bees went into a big argument with Mjal that made her tiny brain run short on circuits. Anyway, she accepted it as the only way to put the homeless girls into a safe place and keep them away from the streets. She also started her own vigilante thing that she would have done if she was taken to Riften, but this time it was in the right place for the right people. Lastly, the Jarl. He showed no signs of stopping me, and I was feeling good about it. However, the guards wanted to harass the workers few times, but were not even supported by the Jarl when the time of arguments came. The Jarl was doing his tyrannical actions away from my side of town. Actually, the amount of land I bought was indeed large, and he kept his men out of it according to my programming. One piece of report that I received, and pleased me greatly, was the news of Malar Seloth being sighted in the inn crying. I actually felt bad, but it is for the good of Winterhold to keep evildoers like him busy. Anyway, Fidu, I don't know what you experienced, but be a man and take it. Hee. Sigh. This was the current state of affairs in Winterhold. I must admit that I wasn't expecting this much development, but it was going well. The people wanted better lives, and I was providing that. The news in the college of me becoming a Thane went like wildfire. Even Nerina herself wasn't thinking highly of my plan and took some time to realize what I did. However, she went writing messages for God knows who and made some arrangements with her friends in the college. When I asked about what was going on, I was told not to pry in these matters and continue my role in the town steadily. I, however, pried, and it appeared to be that some undercurrents in the college chose to move with me and support me in secrecy. Most of the names belong to the ranks of wizard and master wizard. I don't know what is going on, but it's beyond me even if I knew. The other thing I had to deal with were the people who wanted to invest in my business. I turned them all down, including the Thieves' Guild. I am not in any mood to deal with many partners who may cause me a long-term headache. What else? The house. I am making my own house. Don't talk about Hoothfire DLC or anything out there. I was having my own imagination running left and right to find the right pick. In the game, I used Breezeholm as my main base and never changed it even once. In my opinion, Whiterun was the greatest town ever. I always modded it with the best mods around like Breezeholm TNF Eleonora's Flavor or Breezeholm Fully Upgradable, but now I have no ability to fast travel like the game, so my home base will be here in Winterhold. I may acquire some homes around the holds, but this place will be mine. The home I am building here, however, will be the place I chose, and where I will keep my personal items and everything. It will be my safe haven, so I was not sure if I should make it a castle style or a normal Nordic house style. The piece of land I chose was across the street from the bathhouse to its east. To its west was a mountain, while the college and the slope that led to the sea were to the north. The land was vast, so I can basically build whatever I want. After pondering for a long while, I decided to build a medium-sized estate and surround it with a big wall and to beautify it a bit. My inspiration came from a mod called Elysium Estate. It gave the player a really gorgeous estate outside Whiterun, and it had everything one can ask for. It was very simple. A Nordic wooden house with all its decoration from the outside and the inside. From the inside and beyond the main door, one will see a kitchen on the left and a dining room in the right. Nothing is closed by any walls, and I won't change a thing here. Advancing past the first room, one will arrive to a short hallway between two rooms. On the left is the master bedroom, which will have a fireplace, shelves, a king-sized bed, and its personal door out of the house, but I'll not be including it. What I will not also include will be the stone bathtub, and I will transform it into a modern bathroom. The room opposite to the main bedroom will be another room for whatever purpose I may find for it. I will not include the small follower bedroom from the mod, and will just merge it with the big room. The room also have a stone bathtub, but I will transform it into a modern bathroom too, and will isolate it from the room, opening it to the dining room. Back to the hallway, there will be wooden stairs that will lead to the loft. It will be used as any other loft. Passing the hallway will bring us to the last room, who was somehow a small living room around a fireplace with some decorations. It will have its own door outside the house, and I am not changing things here. In the living room there is a door that leads to the stairs of the basement, but I will remove that and replace it with a secret trapdoor. The basement in the mod is the place that have all crafting stations and all that, as well as a storeroom. I don't need any of that. I will transform the basement completely my way. The central room will have 6 doors. The first is the secret door that directly will lead to the house from the living room. The second will lead to the private stone king-sized bathtub in the right. The third will be the vault, which will be fortified with every fortification I know of, and will be in the front where the forge was. The fourth will lead to a very spacious training room for me and my experiments. The fifth will be a large secret trapdoor that leads outside the house and will be used to smuggle things secretly in and out of the basement. The sixth will be a secret passage underground that will lead across the street to the bathhouse's basement. This was pretty much all there is to it inside the house. The outside will have a tower to the north of the house that I have plans for, a small-sized house for my housecarl, and a guest house. All of this will be surrounded with a big wall. You can just go watch the Elysium estate on the Nexus if you don't like my poor housing description. I really explained it to the best of my ability. Beside the crazy amount of business affairs, my research turned into a maddened direction too that past month. I was preparing for the rank-up exam for Evokers next month. I researched magic besides the physical change that happened to me. I focused on learning more spells this time. I didn't want to run away from pirates like I did last time. I want to face them like one of those overpowered main characters and send them to oblivion, then stand on a mountain of their corpses. Or not really. I just want to be too scary to be messed with. I didn't focus on mysticism or alteration the past month at all. I only kept practicing conjuration, destruction, and some illusion and restoration. In conjuration I made most of the development. I learned the bound shield, and now can actually summon a shield. Narina said it's a useless spell, but I think it will be handy someday. Also, I can now conjure a Mist Man, an undead black skeleton that looks like the Bone Man, except it is a floating half-skeleton and it casts frost magic. This will be really useful against warriors. I also learned how to conjure a Storm Atronak in its normal form. It actually is pretty strong Atronak that is made of floating stones upon each other and casts powerful lightning magic. The completely new summon that I learned lately was the Dremora summon, and it's a pain in the ass. I don't know to what extent can these creatures be so haughty. First time I conjured it, it broke itself free from my bounding and attacked me. At first I didn't want to kill him, but he was cursing at me the more I hit him. Release me, mortal, or bow before me, mortal. I was so enraged that I accidentally killed him, but Deidre get recreated, so I'll get a chance to beat him into sense later. Anyway, after a long time of beating the damn things up, I finally summoned one that obeyed me without making me lose it. Conjuring Dremora is not illegal but highly advised to be practiced under full guard. Conjurable Dremora are ranked to 7 ranks depending on their own social system. I can summon the first rank, which is called Dremora Churl, and that is considered the common rappel among the Dremora clans. Still, it was a development. I can summon both warrior and archer Dremora Churls now. They have a pitch-black skin with crimson markings on their bodies, and they have horns, pointy ears, and scary eyes. They are dressed in a black sinister-looking armor, and are not really something to think highly of, unlike the Dremora warlocks and Dremora lords. Dremora are this world's concept of demons, but they don't have wings or tails. They have a human-level intelligence and despise mortals to the extreme. No one really bothers with their real names, though. They are just a bunch of bastards. I wanted to learn summoning different kinds of Deidre like scamps, but Narina said that their smell is hellish, so I avoided the idea. The Destruction School had a different kind of development. I only learned 2 spells. Flame Cloak, which is not really interesting, but it damages anyone around me with fire damage. I learned it only for the sake of research. The next spell was important. So important that Faralda herself showed interest in it. It was a fist attack spell made by the augmentation, technique, and lightning aspect. You can imagine it as a lightning fist attack, but as it makes an explosion when it hits the target, it was called Thunder Cookie. Degree. What was interesting about it was that it needed no casting. One only should evoke it, then it will cover the fist and attack with the contact against the target. From the destruction to the illusion, I completed the Aura of Madness spell and made a vision spell called Far Vision, which can make me see for a fairly long distance. I didn't have any development with the aura itself when I looked it up. These people from Dawnstar were indeed monsters. Finally, in the restoration, I only focused in completing the Absorb and Supply Vitality spells, which takes us to the next subject. I had to research the development of my physical strength too, but I was not an expert in that part at all. I took the matter to Nerina, who assured me that my body has nothing strange, but also was in wonder of how much my strength has increased. The only people that may actually have an idea are the Restoration School experts. Those people researched all there is to research about vitality and were knowledgeable about mortal bodies as well. Nerina, however, rejected the idea of getting help from any of them. She didn't like Colette Marantz, the head of the Restoration Department. That will leave us to only one person I can think of, I said. Who? Nerina asked. The Augur. If the college found out you talked to the Augur with no permission, Savos won't leave you alone. Not just that, you will have to venture into the Midden alone, which is a very unpredictable place. And supposedly you found the Augur, there is a tiny chance he may bother about you. Tell me something I don't know. Don't take Julliner with you. The entrance to the Midden is marked here. Nerina drew a map on a paper hastily and marked the location for me. I actually knew of it. It was the same place from the game, just at the end of the western corridor under a trapdoor. Fine, I'll go tonight. I hope he gets interested in what I will offer. John's spells. #mysticism. Magicka outer control. Channel. Absorb/supply. Dispel drain. Detection. Energy. Matter. Scan. Pinpoint. Force. Telekinesis. Grip. Force bullet. Featherfall. Soul. Scorch. Trap. Necromancy. Reanimate. Supply undead. Divination. Alarm. Clairvoyance. Time. Accelerate. Inner Magicka control. Soulfire. #alteration. Matter. Burden feather. Object. Stone skin, flame skin. Light. Move to alteration. Candlelight. Sound. Move to alteration. Muffle. Create. Throw voice. Combination. Flashbang. #conjuration. Control summon. Command banish. Bound unbound. Supply Deidre. Bound weapon. Sword. Dagger. Battle axe. Bow. Spear. Bound armor. New. Shield. New. Conjure familiar. Mouse. Cat. Falcon. Owl. Wolf. Conjure undead. Ghost. Bone man. Mist man. New. Conjure Atronak. Flame. Normal horse. Frost. Normal utility. Storm. Normal. New. Conjure Dramora. New. Fighter. Churl. New. Archer. Churl. New. #destruction. Flame. Flames. Firebolt. Fire rune. Fireball. Fire cloak. New. Shock. Sparks. Lightning bolt. Lightning rune. Chain lightning. Lightning cloak. Thunder cookie. New. #illusion. Mind. Courage. Fury. Calm fear. Paralyze. Aura of madness. New. Will. Insinuate. Vision. Night vision. Far vision. New. Blindness. #restoration. Vitality. Healing. Drain vitality. Absorb vitality. New. Supply vitality. New. Ward. Steadfast ward. Reflection ward. Quadrant ward. Sun. Sun rays. Sunfire. Sun rune. Holy smite. Paladin's Aura. Hashtag Special Powers. Racial. War Cry. Buff allies. Scare foes. Standing Stone. Shadow Stone. Hide in Shadows. Sneak buff. Blur. Combat speed buff. Blood Lineage. Resi's Fire. Hashtag Thursdayum. Unrelenting Force. Fuss. Force. Row. Balance. Da. Push. Chapter 69. The Augur of Dunlain. Before midnight I walk to that place in the western corridor. I need to avoid the official college guards who patrol the place when I enter the midden. After midnight there is a curfew, so it would be a problem if I didn't get there fast. Normally, Catatosker wouldn't have any problem sneaking at night, but the college has little to no places for hiding into the corridor, and running would bring attention to me. Sigh. This absurdly huge college is nothing like the game at all. Anyway, Narina told me this is the place and my intuition is also telling me so. Using Scan confirmed my suspicion. I found a trapdoor behind some crates that were put on each other like a wall. Also, someone was standing besides it. Weird. Something is going on. I sneaked quietly, and a member of the college guards was there. This is weirder. There is an understanding that the midden is accessible to all from this place. Even the guards don't come here officially. I decided to go in the shameless way. Good evening, Sir Guard. Mind if you clear the way? The boy turned around with a scare. He was a Breton and an evoker at that. What are you doing here? This place is off limits. I was hiding my features with a hood to not get recognized. Mind if you piss off, please? I asked once again, politely. That's it. You are coming wit. Uff. I punched the mamere, Breton. Move, bitch. Get of the way. Damn it. Now the song is stuck in my head. And there is only one way to get rid of a song that got stuck on your head. And that is... play it. I just have. Damn. I forgot my music player when I got reincarnated. Sigh. I am envying those lucky bastards that got reincarnated with their phones. Fine. Author. Put it on the background. Play ludicrous. Move bitch foot mystical. I-20. My man backhand index pointing right, smirking face, backhand index pointing right. Backhand index pointing left, relieved face, backhand index pointing left. Now, the trapdoor. I descended to the midden through the trapdoor. There was a ladder under it that took me directly to an ice cave. I am happy one thing is still like the game. The midden is the underground sewer system for the college and can be accessed from the Hall of Countenance, but that entrance is watched by the administration. Now I started moving into this ice cave, and it felt rather fun and adventurous. I arrived a minute later to a space made of stone. It now really felt like I walked into the sewers. It was dim, mild, and smelly. Just like the rat way. The feels. Like I care anyway. I cast Stone Skin and Night Vision. The place became much clearer, and I started to feel the movements around me. Skeevers, I hate these pests. Let's summon something to get rid of them. I evoked the spells and casted 7 times. Around me stood 5 black skeletons with bows and arrows, Bone Man, and 2 floating upper half-black skeletons evoking frost magic, Mist Man. Undead don't bother with darkness, so they will work around just perfect. I started walking and formed my undead squad in formation around me. The midden was not like the game at all. I saw places I have never seen before and almost got lost many times. The only thing that kept me from that was the clairvoyance spell. Still, it is much different than the game. In the game, it could show the player a short trail to the nearest quest marker, but things are different here. Clairvoyance is a spell that falls under the aspect of divination. It's tricky and hard to control. One need a strong will to clairvoyance whatever they is after. Normal the answer isn't visible to the naked eye, so understanding it comes through feelings. Normally the answer can be directional or take many other forms. Also, clairvoyancing something you are not sure of is dangerous and may lead to catastrophic results if one put too much trust in his clairvoyance. Divination as a concept is getting information through no material mean, which is the opposite of detection. And clairvoyance itself is one of the purest forms of divination, but it's hard to control, let alone master. Divination is a main aspect in mysticism. Actually, it's the most famous aspect in mysticism. People mostly know mystics as soothsayers and fortune-tellers. Many Nords are blessed with that talent, which is very enviable in my opinion, but they rarely used it for a real arcane practice. Those people with that talent are the ones who can utilize mysticism the most. My talent lies in the energy manipulation part, so I am not completely vexed. Back to the present, my use of clairvoyance put me on the track towards the direction of the Augur. I walked across strange places, but I tried to keep mapping the place in my head. Unlike Wolfer, I am not that bad with directions. There is that bone formation that was on a wall. A skull with 4 arms coming out from beneath it and finger bones shaped like a crown around it. I stood in front of it respectfully and said, "Hail Hydra." Don't know why. It just felt the right thing to do. I remember from the game that beyond this point is the Midden Dark. The Midden Dark is a bit scarier than the Midden. It has roaming undead, big spiders, strange things, and all of one's heart's desire. Actually, I hate spiders. I may act like a big boy all the time, but frostbite spiders of Skyrim are ridiculously large and scary. I was never afraid of them in the game, but in reality, I let my undead deal with them. I remember some mods that replaced the spiders with many other things for those who are afraid of spiders even on a screen. I wasn't that afraid or anything, but those spiders in real life are just something I don't want to touch. Anyway, I remember some unpleasant enemies in this place. That's why I am using something with a thin presence like the undead around me. I don't want to fight an ice wrath or anything annoying. Finally, after an hour of searching, the clairvoyance is not reacting like before. I guess I am not far. Looking around the place, I saw an ice cave once again. Walking it would connect me to another stone corridor. This is the part before the Augur's room, if I am not mistaken. I walked slowly and commanded the undead to stay put. Once I saw a door, I banished them away. Knock knock. Leave. A voice echoed from the door. It was as if a ghost was talking. A plain voice that has no emotions. "Sir Augur, my name is John Dare, a mysticism apprentice and a novice businessman. I am also an otherworlder." Hello. 1, 2, 3. Do you copy? And what business does an otherworlder have here? Cultural exchange. What are you after are answers. Answers you think will help you in your path, but it's too late. The wheel has already turned on you. What the? Can he read my mind? I am after answers and knowledge, yes, so I hope to prove worthy. Also, the matter of the wheel is useful if you already know of it, and will save us some time. But first I need to tell you a story. Silence took lead of the conversation for a while. After few seconds the door opened. Still you persist? Very well, you may enter. Welcome to the Midden. I knew what was I going to see, so I head right away and the door got closed after me. I like what you have done with the place. The place was empty, stony circular room, with a small well-like Magicka focus point, with a glowing ball of light on the energy stream. Your sarcasm is not appreciated. Who replied to me was a glowing ball of energy. This is the Augur, or who was known as Augur of Dunlain. A Breton with a strong magical talent that focused on obtaining power instead of controlling it till an accident that turned him into a non-corporeal entity. I have many theories, but I'll leave the confirmation to him. So you're the Augur of Dunlain? I am what you have been seeking, but what you are really after is dangerous. Can you read my mind? I can. Go ahead, please. Read my memories from 25 years ago. Supposedly it is possible. What is there you want me to see? Anything related to you, me, Skyrim, the college, dragons. I'll just sit here and you enjoy the show. I said this, sat on the ground, leaning my back to a wall. I am afraid that won't do and may take a lot of time. So. I will. Need a guide. Huh. Why? Crap. Tud. No. I don't want this again. This is bad. I hate this. I am panicking, 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 panicking. Hey, you piece of fluorescent pulp. I told you to send me out. Your reaction was not calculated to be this severe. I must apologize for the sudden action. But normally, most people would consider this a thrilling experience. Thrilling my ass. This experience killed me once. Yes, it did. I died because of this once. I put that damnable Gold Dive VR headset on my head more than 15 years ago, and look what happened. Now I am at a strange black space with black background and a sense of movements. It awakened all of traumas. I can't deny this is different, but I have the same fucking feeling of the full dive VR space. Please relax. We are traveling in the memory tunnel, so it would take us a short time to get there. Damn it. This guy is enjoying it. I am not. Reading my brain, huh? Technically, we are in it. Then why are you acting on your own accord so willfully? I simply took action the best way to achieve your goal. You are talking like robot now? I don't recognize the term, but is that something like an automaton? Yeah, a machine. I think that is the closest way to put it in. Wait, what? Aren't you a human? I remember that the Augur in the game was recorded as the Breton in the system. Being me right now, and being the human who I once was from before is different. So, you lost part of your humanity? You are not listening. I am not a human anymore. Think of me as a reincarnated person like you claim, but in a different race that altered me. I still don't get it. I mean, I thought of you as a person who overpowered his soul with energy and the astral body couldn't keep up with that increase until it caused the mortal vessel or the physical body to not be able to contain the deformation in the astral body, it disintegrated. Keep going. I am not sure how you did it afterwards, but you managed to seal the astral body and keep the soul bound to it somehow. But you needed an energy source, so you took residence in the unused Magicka focus point. Nothing more? That's all I could get based on how much I could research. But from what you said about losing humanity, then I guess it is because you lost what others call the desires of the flesh. Things like eating, drinking, or humor meant less by time, and you reached this mechanical state of emotion. I guess you put it the closest way possible. Your understanding mostly came from some notes I left behind as I see, so we are agreeing on many terms. So, does this mean that the physical body should be strong enough to contain the astral body? The astral body is the shell of the soul that has all the Magicka in, right? Does this mean that the soul itself is a higher form of Magicka? And the vitality is an energy of different nature, right? My body has experienced an immense increase in power lately. Does this has to do with the troll's vitality that I absorbed? I still haven't deemed you worthy yet to answer your questions. Damn it. All I need to know is, will I experience the same thing like you? You will soon find out. I just don't want to be a miserable computer-like ball of light that lives in sewers. We arrived at the first memory. Let's see what you want to show me. Chapter 70. A question. A request. Interesting place. Whoops. My room from 2 decades and a half ago. Messy as ever. This is the day when I first played Skyrim. I could see my past self sitting like a noob and starting TSV, Skyrim, for the first time. The amount of knowledge in this memory is more than expected. Please give me time to process it. Boy oh boy, if you lagged on me now, I might have to go through childhood all over again, you know? Not nice, Augur, not nice. The process is complete. I must admit, I didn't see that coming. Listen. If we are talking about the maze of new folders in my PC, then please, that was a long time ago. I started to only watch online after a short time from this memory. I have no understanding of what you were talking about. I was actually expecting something less. Weren't you the all-knowing almighty entity a while ago? There are limits for even me when it comes to divination, but I can read it from your memories now. I hope you don't get any Terminator weird ideas from the movies I watched. More importantly, what is that? Oh, this goes like this. I started explaining the game to Augur. The me from the memory was watching the game's first cutscene that occurs in Helgen. I felt a bit of sad when I looked at the past me. Back at that time, I wasted a lot of time on gaming and was a bit of a shut-in. It affected my relationships and social interactions for a long time. I also didn't have friends. Well, thanks to the reincarnation, I have no internet or social media, so I have to entertain myself and socialize the normal way for humans. Thanks to that, I had a great second chance of childhood. Back to the current events, the light ball, aka Augur, was watching and analyzing everything on his own, so I didn't need to explain anything to him. After all, we are in my brain. Will the past you keep changing the character's appearance that much? Yes, the character creation normally takes some time. Wait for it. 2 hours later. I swear, I don't remember staying that long creating my first character. It's probably the nose. Always the damn nose. Do you know people get this weird feeling in their noses when they edit the character's nose? I forgot. You are a ball of light after all. You don't even have a nose. 1 hour later. Taking 3 hours to create a character. Yep, sounds like me. Now, where were we? Helgen is smaller than the real version of it. Wait until you see Whiterun. That time, my family's farm was larger than it. The magic is really simplified, and like the college, it excluded mysticism. Smart move from the game. Stupid from the college. This effect menu is a good idea. Indeed, but too long. We started going into a heated discussion. The Augur said before that by losing his flesh, he lost all sorts of mortal desire. It was clearly obvious from the way he spoke. He normally uses fluent language to hide his lack of emotions and to not freak people out. In my opinion, this is a survival instinct. He realizes that he shouldn't freak people out, else it would lead to his demise. Same goes for his desire to exist and staying alive with no physical body and to seal his destroyed astral body. That also made his desires obvious. Moreover, to exist is to have a purpose. There is something he is after, and that's why he needs to exist. Maybe gathering knowledge or trying to recreate a mortal body once again, or maybe achieve the Chim and become a godly existence. One can't just think of how many possibilities that the Augur might be after. Such a logical thinking. Get out of my head and stop talking like a machine. Calculations prove that you may appreciate it that way. This is really tiring. After the first memory, we passed from one to another, and from my old family house to the apartment in Alexandria. I could feel the same feelings of the space of the memory. And damn, there is nothing like Alexandria in summer. The sea breeze is amazing. If you like it this much, I recommend visiting the area of Iliac Bay or Somerset Isle. You became one talkative fellow, didn't you? Did my brain affected you that much? Gotta admit, I feel proud. I see that you like to play the game more than one time by changing the things you refer to as mods. But what exactly is that thing flying in the game? That? Oh, Thane. Thomas the Tank Engine. Isn't that supposed to be a dragon? Well, there is no limit for imagination when you are a modder, right? This took some bloody long time. I was worried, but the Augur told me that the time flow in my brain is much faster than real time. The Augur asked for many information to gather. It took him 2 brainy days to gather all what he wanted. I might complain about the lack of that scientific knowledge in your memories. There are indeed many good memories, but they will need many years of work on and analyze all of them. Weren't we here for the information about the game? We finished that a long time ago. Excuse my rudeness, but I was in awe of the otherworldly knowledge you carry. It proved of immensely high value. Invaluable, I would say. If it was the mortal me, I am sure I would be shaking from excitement and wonder. Yep, just what I needed. This is seriously scary. I knew why the protagonists from the novels don't show off their past life origins. Still, I stupidly had to do it. Actually, I was a bit desperate. I don't know what is going on with my body, and this blue ball of light is taking it easy in my head, gathering all sorts of data. Please don't be alarmed. I am not seeking any harm. I also plan to repay the knowledge I obtained with the thing that you need. Thank you, but do that before you turn from blue to red and start calling yourself Skynet. Please give me a second. We will be out of the memory tunnel in no time. If you are going to talk like a machine, say it with a countdown. My head hurts. Why my head hurts? The piece of fluorescent took me to a memory trip before I get myself ready. And my body fell before I take a good position. Now, I guess it is my time to answer questions. My body? The physical body is perfectly healthy. The astral body, however, is where the problem lies. I am listening. Imagine a cup made of glass and filled with a liquid. The light falls onto the cup, and it gives an image for the lookers. The same theory works for the relationship between the soul, the astral body, and the physical body. But there are a few twists. Okay. The soul is the liquid that fills the cup. The cup is the astral body that contains the soul. The physical body is the image reflected by both. What do you think may happen if any of the three experienced a change? The other will have the same chain? Not quite accurate, but generally yes. The changes vary in effect, and some can cause no harm because the effect is easy to deal with. For example, if a damage was caused to the physical body, then a healing spell was cast to undo it. How exactly does the spell know that these cells can be regenerated? The answer is quite simple. The astral body is the ghost of the physical body. They resemble each other in image. The spell simply copies the information from the astral body and apply the healing this way. So what if the wound was left with no generation or healing? It would appear as a scar. I mean, cause the same image to appear on the astral body and be permanent. That's what I meant by few twists. The image may not affect the object, but the object affects the image. Yet in our example, they both affect each other, as this was nothing but an example. Returning to the subject, what about my case? Your case and mine are close. Didn't you already make a guess? My astral body is being affected by the magicka I absorbed. Not quite accurate. The energy you gather by your so-called cultivation is affecting your soul. The soul has many different kinds of energies like the magicka, the vitality, and the essence you use to shout the Thursday. Every being has these different kinds of energies, and they are easily can be transmuted into each other. From there comes the aspects of magic. One of the rules is that the energies must be in harmony with one another. If one increased in an alarming rate like your magicka, the other energies, especially the vitality, will try to keep up. I remember. When the protagonists of the cultivation novels increase their energy too fast, they have to go into seclusion to stabilize that much energy they gathered into their dantian or whatever. Exactly. Your past world has a good understanding to energies. But wait a second. By the time I started cultivating, shouldn't the vitality keep up at least some bit with the magicka? Here where things started going out of your hand. You always cultivated the magicka between heaven and earth, but one time you broke the habit. One time? I normally cultivated my own way and didn't chon. No. There was one time. That time. The Elder Gleam Sanctuary. That is right. You cultivated from a source of high-grade magicka. You enriched your magicka to the point that the other energies in your soul didn't get the chance to follow up. Unlike me, who gathered more liquid than what my cup could handle. You gathered a liquid that your cup may shatter from how heavy it is. Fuck me. Don't get alarmed. You can stabilize by time, and you can heal your astral damage. I get the seriousness, but what about the troll's vitality problem? This is already that bad. I still have to know everything. Problem? Didn't you get it already? Huh. Get what? This is the solution, not the problem. Huh. The troll's vitality is a high-grade vitality. Not as high-grade as the magicka from the Elder Gleam, of course, but it is one of the highest in grade between the living. No creatures have vitality like trolls. Huh. So you're saying that I should go, chain up some trolls, and drag them around for vitality source? You can take care of that as you see fit. This is actually weird. I mean, doing that to trolls can be considered animal brutality, but trolls has evil nature and appearance. Even their meat is not edible, and their blood can be used for poisons. Their skulls are useful for magical purposes too. There is a wide variety of trolls in the world, and some of them can be as strong as giants. I don't think it would be considered a torture if I just go on troll hunting and absorb their vitality in the process. Okay, let's do that. So, to stabilize the magicka, I need to cultivate the vitality from a certain source. It will increase my physical power and make me stronger. But what about the stamina? You look at the vitality from the game's perspective as the health, or what you prefer to call HP. This is an idea that the game creators from your world came up with to give the game more attributes. But in reality, this is a bit different. Think of vitality as both stamina and health. How vitality works is simple. You lose stamina and your endurance lessens until a critical point where your health starts getting affected, and upon death the vitality itself crumbles. So it is like that. It's indeed logical. But didn't the Troll's Essence Potion increase my stamina that time? It was a temporary buff. The area of effect was your thank you, I don't want to hear from you. This guy is truly an emotionless machine. So, Mr. Augur, returning back to the talk about the three components of a mortal thingy. If someone lost a limb, then it would affect both the physical body and the astral body, but the soul will remain intact. Does this mean that for old injuries, if we healed the astral body, will the physical body be healed according to it? It is correct. It will regrow limbs and heal old injuries. Not just that, you can add or alter other functions from the astral body directly to cause an effect to the physical body, something like upgrading your body or your species. Isn't this the same for vampires and werewolves? Correct. In the vampire case, you change the vitality components, but that can be manipulated easily by a vampirism infection. Same goes for were creatures. They are a combination of two astral bodies. Damn. And this conversation will lead us to the request you wanted. Right. The request. I need your help desperately, and you know why. Indeed you need it, and in normal circumstances I wouldn't do such a thing if I have no benefit. But I started to see a benefit in helping you. And also, consider it as a repayment for the immense knowledge from your world that I gained from your memories. Thank you. Your soul is indeed different from normal mortals. It is not even black to begin with, but it has the same general properties. It will be much easier for me to do the next process. It will be just like the thing with the were creatures. I had a question and a request when I came to this place. The question is about my physical condition, but the request is about something different. I was worried. If a small entity like the Augur can read my mind and know about my truth, what will the bigger entities do? Just think about it. If a Daedric prince like Hermias Morath, the one known as the Demon of Knowledge which the hero from the game had encountered many times, what will such an entity do to gain all the knowledge about a different world from my head? What about Molagbal, Maroon's Dagon, or even Bothia? They would covet such knowledge. Much worse, if they can find a way to travel to Earth, how can the consequences be like? I can't risk a meeting with any one of them this soon. Your fears are a bit too much. I don't think that your past world is something to worry about. I myself don't understand how you got here. What you have to worry about is something else. What is that? Your knowledge. These simple facts that you learned in that high school and these incredible documentaries you watched. Do you realize how many theories they debunk in this world? Do you know that the knowledge you see simple is a way to see the world from a completely different perspective? Even the truth about Etiada, original spirits, and how they became the Edra, Daedra, and Magna Gu as we know. Also the truth about the sun and the stars. If any being found about this information, it will lead them to either fear it or covet it. Regarding the reaction, it won't end well for you. I guess I understand that. So will you be able to block the strong beings from seeing in my head? Blocking them is unwise. If you want to make sure that something can't be stolen, then hide it in where they least expect. Don't put it in a safe that can be easily unlocked. Delvin said that. I will make your memories appear normal and will hide them under another memories. In return, I want you to support me with some information from the outside world. I will also see that your growth and development stay monitored under no danger from experiencing another astral damage or any cultivation side effect. Oh, thank you. But how are you going to do that when you can't leave the place here? I have developed an idea, but it will need someone open-minded to try it with. And it is? With the aspects of soul, divination, and detection, I created a powerful spell known as astral projection. Suddenly, a small ball of light came from the big one, Augur, and floated beside it. Oh, look at him. resembles his daddy. This is merely an out-of-body experience. Yeah, I remember reading about it in some novels. This is an extension to my astral body. It will merge into your astral body. You said something about solving it like the were creatures. Are you saying you are making me a were-augur? This extension will merge with your astral body and will hide your memories by creating a fake front above them. It will also keep the Daedric princes from knowing that you are allying with their enemies, unlike that unrealistic game you played. If you went Bothia after being an agent to Molagbal, you won't gain her favor. For last thing, benefit will be applying some of the game knowledge I gained from you to monitor your growth. I understand the first two, but how will you do the last one? Easy. Let me merge my astral extension with you, and you will see. Fine. The smaller ball of light shot in me, and I felt no charge at all. Everything is complete. Showing your status. Name: John Dare/John Hild Firemane. Race: Human, Nord. Age: 15. Level: 17. Attributes: Health: 140/140. Stamina: 100 out of 100. Magicka: 520/520. Magic: plus mysticism, plus alterations, plus conjunction, plus destruction, plus illusion, plus restoration, plus powers, plus Thursdayum. Active effect: astral damage, 19%. Huh, is that? Chapter 71. Hooman? Are you kidding me? In your memories, you complained about not having a system for a long time when you got reincarnated. HM? Yeah, I remember. Got me really bad back in the day. I always wanted a system when I was in the orphanage. When I didn't get one, so I felt really cheated. Well, systems were for those who got a planned reincarnation by gods, unlike me who mysteriously died and mysteriously got reborn somewhere. Still, it is weird to get a system this way, this late. But you said that you can't get away from your power source. Would your astral extension be okay if I decided to visit Elsewhere someday? Yes, my astral extension is only there to help you. I can locate and contact it using telepathy wherever you are. After all, the astral link is the strongest kind of link. Still, I tend to believe that there is no free meal in this world. You protect me and provide me growth guidance. Was there really so much valuable information in my head? More than you think. I can access the deepest parts of your memories and bring out things you don't even remember. But still you could hide that and just not bother. Pretend that there is little to do with my memories. If I were you, I would do that. You are giving me a system, and you even go out of your way to justify helping me. What are you really going to gain from that? You already have all you want from me. You understand me, right? I know there is something you are not telling me. I am not someone who takes everyone with goodwill. I learned that lesson the hard way. Please clarify. You can read my mind, so there is no way you don't understand me. I am sure of it. You figured something out. Yes, he did. I can't see his face, or I can detect his emotions, but he found something. You figured the reason about my reincarnation, right? We were silent for a long time. I don't know, but I was staring at the ball of light, and I felt he was staring back at me. It was a staring contest of sort. We understand each other, and there is something important, very important he found out. Fine. I admit I figured most of it out. The augur actually gave up first. I knew it. I was sure of it. There are few things I don't know about myself, but the most mysterious thing is my reincarnation. Did you figure out the reason? Mostly. How do you want me to say it? Don't sugarcoat it. As you wish. My theory depends on two parts. The first part, you guessed it, mostly correct. You mean? As you said it once, conditions were met. To make it more easy to understand, the idea of your VR headset works similarly to that of the out-of-body experience. That ability allows the user to get a part of his soul or consciousness out of his body and put OT into a device to make it experience in virtual reality. That happens when you send your mind into the game. It carries the information you submitted as the general information you want your character to have. The soul embraced the information as it belongs to it, and it happens that there was a different person that was largely similar to it in the information content that time. This was the 1-year-old John Hild Firemay. Once that was there, you could easily merge with him. Merge? Exactly. You may never think of it as merging or see it as you replaced him, but the real John Hild is still in there. He is not sleeping or anything, but due to his age, his mental power or memories can never suppress yours, as your mental age that time was 25 years older than his, and he just merged with the reincarnated you mentally. Still, he is there. He shows up in critical moments when it comes to his family. Remember that day when Senior Nerina gave you that amulet of Talos? Your mental age was already 35. Even when you found out that Hilda was your birth mother, you shouldn't have really cared. But you did, and it took its toll on you. Your unnatural hunger for power increased drastically, and the real John Hild started to put some rules. You are not that lawyer from before. You also are not John Hild. You are something new. Maybe something was never seen before. This was the first half of the theory behind your reincarnation, the one that is easy to figure out. What about the other? This is the part one I'm not sure of. But no one is almighty enough in this world to summon a soul from another world except for the Etiada, the original spirits, or what people like to call gods. So you are saying that an Edra or a Deidre pulled me here? Yes, and it was a cunning move. It is the only possible way, and it was done by an Etiada that is very expert when it comes to souls. And you are helping me for? You are wrong. I am helping the Etiada who brought you here. Please don't take it the wrong way. I am helping you either way, but I am extending more helping hands to my benefit too. I get it. So you simply want to carry favor with that Etiada? To what end? A happy one. Guess I was right. He wants a way out of his misery too. Whatever. I would have done the same. So, you have any idea which god did it? I am not expert in gods. Few is known about the Deidre, less about the Edra, and the Magna Gu are mysterious. Well, that sucks. I understand getting your fate sealed by another is terrible, but maybe in your case, you get guided to a bigger fate. That guidance. It is what you are after. You are starting to see my point. So please, make full use of the astral extension. I'll sever the connection between it and me, and will let you be in control it, so you worry not about your privacy. It will have a limited amount of intelligence, and will keep you updated with your condition and status. Beside hiding the important parts of your memory, it will have a function to open a telepathic connection with me if you needed anything. Useful. But that depressed me. I wanted nothing to do with the gods of this world, and now they come to my doorstep. Depressing. I think I don't want to think about this anymore. Yes, let's not do that. I'll bury my head under sand for now. It's not anything useful, but it is all I can do regarding that matter. No matter how powerful I am, I can't face this problem alone. And without a being like the Augur, no one will understand my situation. I don't know what Nerina may think, but Hilda may think of me as a demon invaded her son's body. I am afraid if I think about this for too long, I may have an identity crisis soon. Sigh. I'll just bury me head under sand and stop thinking about depressing stuff. But now that I think about it, I was expecting that you may have some sort of reaction when you find out about the game and its relation to the world. I mean, you appeared in it, and you encountered the main character twice. It is indeed incredible and mysterious. Many things don't add up in that part. It may be the work of an Etiads or an Elder Scrolls, as these are the only ones capable to transmit such an amount of information to another world. Hee. I still can't imagine Todd Howard using an Elder Scroll to get prophecies and create the game, though it would explain why he always says it just works. Todd Howard is an American video game designer, director, and producer. He currently serves as director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios, the company that brought us the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. Sigh. How depressing. Before I go, what are the full functions of the system? And can you upgrade it? You can access it with your inner will, and yes, the window you see is nothing but an illusion that shows my analysis of your body, ability, energy, and mentality, so it's editable. Its functions and upgrades are also bound by your current ability and spells you can use. I think that's cool. Let's see. Name, John Dare/John Hild Firemane. Race, Human, Nord. Age, 15. Level, 17. Attributes, Health, 140/140. Stamina, 100 out of 100. Magicka, 520/520. Magic, plus mysticism, plus alterations, plus conjunction, plus destruction, plus illusion, plus restoration, plus powers, plus Thursdayum. Active effect, astral damage, 19%. This baby lacks the map, a media player, a screenshot function. Okay, why did these windows show up when I thought about them? They were already there. As I said, your ability with magic allowed them to be. Seriously? Good Augur. We are definitely best buds. Do I get inventory too? Space magic is nothing to just think of using easily, but you should be able to do it on your own one day. Okay, my names are there, my race and age which have completely no use, and level 17? What is that about? I made a small calculation, and it appeared that the level thing can be calculated by understanding how much the individual can bring out strength. It is not a solid piece information, but it can be understood by the energy from within you. It is not accurate, but when the system alerts you of a higher level enemy, you should be prepared. I see. The attributes now. HP 140, SP 100, MP 520? What's wrong with that? It is so broken, or you didn't make it like the game did. No, it is actually based on very accurate calculations. The health and stamina may look pitiful, but your astral damage has affected them. Also, you are young and not fully grown yet. To reach that point in attributes is already something monstrous. My magicka is something to vex people with. Your magicka is higher than wizards and a bit less than master wizards. Maybe he is right. So I have a 19% astral damage condition. That's scary. This may take a lot of trolls to heal it. And the magic section is so neatly organization. Let's see. Magic times mysticism. Play button magicka outer control. Play button detection. Play button force. Play button soul. Play button necromancy. Play button divination. Play button inner magicka control. Plus alterations. Plus conjunction. Plus destruction. Plus illusion. Plus restoration. Times powers. Racial. Warcry, buff allies, scare foes. Son of Skyrim, resist frost. Standing stone, shadow stone. Hide in shadows, sneak buff. Blur, combat speed buff. Blood lineage, Firemane. Resi's fire, offline. Athi, offline. Plus Thursdayum. This feels like some sort of phone application. Animated menu effects and all. But what's with that? Augur. In the blood lineage submenu of the powers menu, there are some things that looks weird. What is with that offline and? In rare occasions, people are born with a blood lineage, and sometimes it needs a special condition to get activated. I could detect it within you, but it is unknown, so it was recorded like this? I would love to share something with those crazy Firemane folk, but if it activates something like the Manjiku Sharingan, then I am giving up. I didn't sign up for a tragedy novel. But why is the resist fire is offline too? It gives you a high resistance to fire, but it is not completely activated too. Once it gets activated, it will be a fearsome ability. Hidden lineage ability, fire-related lineage, family shares a hair color. This is going very much Uchiha count scenario. Well, I guess that's all there is to it, huh? I said and closed all these windows. Even though your moral compass is not working right, but I guess you helped me there. I am grateful for your help. I turned around and was about to leave, but before you enter the midden, you punched a boy who was guarding the entrance. He is looking for you with his friends all over the place now. I'll just walk through them. Literally, if they cause me headache. What are they doing in the midden anyway? Most students come for experimenting, the kind that the college doesn't allow. Everyone knows that. But why are they so secretive to even position an official guard on the door? Their experiments are breaking many rules. In particular, they are experimenting on WDF? Seriously, WDF? These sick bastards. I am going after them one after the other. I will haunt their ghosts if they died on my hands. No, I will not kill them, but they will beg for it. I am pissed to the extreme right now. The Augur told me something that made me nearly caw out blood. These sick bastards are so fucking done for. So done for that the done-forness itself is not a way for them to escape what I will do to them. I ran out of the Augur's room after he told me what was going on. To think these bastards dare, right here and under my nose. This will be so freaking crazy. I remember something like that happened once in the Ratway. I went berserk on two guys who did a similar act and almost unmanned them. This is one of the reasons I was called Catatosker. Even Big Sis Vex, who scares the hell out of me, couldn't stop me when I lost it. They were just some of Mercer's boys, so no one actually gave a shit afterwards. Now, I conjured 8 bone men. This is all I can muster right now. Aura of Madness was casted as a cloak spell. Now let's find these bastards. I evoked, scan, and looked everywhere I can. System, put the MP and map on view. Keep them mini. Mark any hostile as a red dot. Mark the packages as a blue dot. MP 417/520 *map*. The system, which is the astral extension of the Augur, is pretty simple. It can function as a simple computer system. The Augur himself took a liking on the electronic era and is studying it thoroughly by now. I hope that he just remain blue and not turn red. Call himself Skynet. Speaking of Skynet, I am on a terminating quest now. And I almost forgot. I am angry. Hostiles detected. Get him. I commanded my undead. He's over here. Get him. Don't let him run. What is they? Undead. Too many. Run. New. Shoot them in the thighs. On my command, the undead started shooting arrows in the darkness. They could see, but those filthy criminals were falling like flies before they even know it. It was hectic, but one thing calmed me down. Packages located. Finally, I found them. POV, scared, dark, alone, friends, crying, bad people. What dat? Noise. People come again? Mini noise. Big noise. People coming. No. Run. Scary people. Go away. People fight people? Food fight. Me not food. People crazy. People be crazy eat me? No. Scary. Bad people no fight more? Bad. Too bad. One coming. Hooman. Go away. Me strong. Bite you. Poor things. What did they want to do to you? The monsters. Hooman speak? Hooman's rattle. Why Hooman speak? Here. Come here. I can't take you out here, or you will run everywhere. I'll take you in the cage. Don't worry. You will be out soon. Hooman speak again? Hear that? You hear that? No. You don't? You hear Hooman talk? No too. Why I only hear Hooman speak. I hear Hooman talk. Hooman cat talk. Hooman weird. Chapter 72, Nefertiti. I found 6 cats in a cage. 2 were hurt and the rest were fine. But they were mostly afraid except for a little black kitten. They were even planning to experiment on such a little thing. This is unforgivable. These fucktards are actually this bold to use the college's sentry cats as experimental material? These assholes. I am infuriated from how brutal this experiment was. They wanted to train on illusion and healing on cats. Some evidence even pointed to a necromancy research, but it is a widely known fact that necromancy doesn't work on cats. Aren't there skeevers and rats all over the place? More than that, isn't it against the rules to even adopt the sentry cats, let alone harm them? They are part of the security in the colleges, I heard. I once requested to adopt one, but I was told that only a scholar and above in rank can adopt them privately. Yet those criminals wanted to use them in experiments. Fine. No good deeds go unrewarded. No bad deeds go unpunished. My undead have secured all the criminals. They are mostly apprentices like me. 4 of them in addition to the evoker guard which I punched before I enter the midden. Now, what should I do with you? Bastard. I dare you show your F.A. Wea. Bugs should not speak. They can only be stepped on. Their thighs had arrows, but they didn't bleed that much. A kick was perfect to cause more pain. Which team you shitheads are from? They remained silent. Fine. I evoked a spell, and they got alert. When I cast it, void distorted and a figure emerged. Mortal, be done with it. Sigh. A cocky one. I don't know why Draymora churls like him make such a fuss, even though they are nothing but weaklings. I even had to banish 4 of the 8 bone men to bound him better. Gods. Is that? Conjurer can summon a Draymora? Is he a scholar? Draymora. You mean those Daedra? They got terrified from a mere churl. Churls doesn't dress themselves in the usual game's Daedric armor. They are just the rabble of the Draymora clans, so they just wear a plain black armor that is less sinister. Sheath your blade and use your fists. Beat them up until they start singing. What? No killing? Let's see about it when they tell me what I want. I left the churl with these 5 and walked back to the place I left the cats. I started putting some effort into healing them. Hostile detected. What is going on here? I heard a voice. It was a girl's voice. What now? Even a girl was involved in hurting cats. Sigh. Such a cruel world. I was already done with the cats, so I left them in the cage and went to see who came. Senior, save us. He will kill us. These wimps started crying to a girl. Hopeless. When I looked at her, I saw 2 other boys with her, and I started to recognize her. Nyrenal, you shithead. These were your club members after all. Should have known. Who are you? She didn't recognize me. Of course I was wearing a hood. Nyrenal was the Breton girl who tried to invite me to her team back in the rank-up exam. She started to say some bullshit about elitism and whatnot. I had to kick Ordhorn's balls to make a statement around the college to avoid that kind of headache. This was the first and the last time she involved herself with me. I knew that she has a very troublesome personality, and she likes to disregard the rules more than anything. Are you aware that your club members were experimenting on the sentry cats? She looked at me carefully and looked at the Draymora I conjured. She was trying to come up with the best plan for battle. And what's it to you? She replied with a stare. Nothing. I just like cats. Look, you seem like a good guy, but don't overestimate yourself. JST, because you can conjure a Draymora churl and found few skeletons around doesn't mean you can do anything. You are alone, and there is little you can do against the 3 of us. Why don't you just leave, and we will pretend this never happened? Seriously now? Acting like this with me? Fine. I'll play along. Okay. I'll take the cats and leave. I said that, then turned around, exposing my back to her. And just like the idiot she is, she tried to take the chance and attack me. Just when she cast ice spikes at me, I was already covering my back with a reflect ward. When the spell landed, it got reflected back at her, but she avoided it nimbly. Cute. Is that what a so-called elitist student can do? Together, Nyrenal and the 2 goons accompanying her started casting all sorts of spells at me. It may overwhelm me if I face them without using a trump card, but if I used one, my identity may get exposed. I don't want to cause a mess anyway. I only put the ward ahead of me and retreated behind a corner, then ordered the undead to stall for time. I also had to banish the Draymora hastily, as I can barely command him anyway. We will teach him a lesson. Don't let him run, and be careful. He is powerful. Nyrenal started making her plan. Oh, I am being put in high regards. I don't think I can just play around anymore, can I? Of course, going all out here will result in disaster. If I used my new spell, Thunder Cookie, I will cause a big destruction. It's an expert level spell, and my strongest spell after all. Even though I was behind a corner, they can't just go after me blindly, so I didn't feel any pressure against them. I'll just cast Aura of Madness again. Upon doing that, they felt it was an illusion attack and retreated hastily. I followed them with Frenzy spell that blasted on the 5 boys I fought before. Just as it landed, their eyes turned insane and started using their arms to beat each other, forgetting about the healing process that we're in. No. Quickly dispel it. Nyrenal saw that and commanded one of her goons to help their fallen comrades. This was the opening I needed. I changed to Chain Lightning and cast it on the other goon beside her, as he was clearly distracted. The Chain Lightning landed on him, and bounced on Nyrenal, then the other goon. That was boringly easy. I quickly conjured the bone men and commanded them to surround the fallen newcomers. Was that all the elitism you have? I was prepared for more, you know? They were looking at me with fear, but Nyrenal was looking with hate. This girl is full of darkness. Who answers the questions politely will take less beating, I said as I started cracking my fingers. It didn't take long. They already said everything. Nyrenal, however, didn't utter a single word and kept looking at me as if I am the murderer of her kin or something. Her darkness is something to behold. After finishing up with them, I went back to the cats and carried the cage, leaving those lowly faults of creation behind. A few minutes later, I arrived above ground. It felt as if I was coming from a grave. Okay, ladies and gents, at the end of our ride. Here you go. I opened the cage for the cats and got them out. I was getting healed. The last cat was a super cute black kitten. I know, right? Black cats are hardly seen cute by most cultures and beliefs, but this one has big blue eyes on a big head and a small body. She was just so flipping cute. She, however, had no number collar like the other college cats. She probably is still young, so they left her without one. But she was undoubtedly a sentry cat. Strange thing is, the mage sentry cats are not this black. I can tell she is one because of her big ears. The sentry cats are very similar to the Egyptian Maubreed in the terms of color and personality. The only difference is their large ears that are similar to the Devon Rex breed. Before I even do anything, this kitten just ran from the cage and clung on me. Yes, heal me more. Such a good girl. I would give you some milk and dried fish if I have any. Meow. I hope I can, little one. It's just that the college will bust my ass if I openly broke the rules. Meow? You're Hooman? If it is like that, then we will fight them together. Don't worry, your Hooman won't let them harm you ever again. Meow. You are welcome, hee. This cat said some nice words of encouragement to me, even if it is Alduin World Eater. I'll kick his spiky ass no problem right now. Anyway, I am still not done. I have to go and file a request for adopting to this kitten and report what happened in the midden. It will be a bit of a mess, but I will solve it no matter what. Me and the kitten agreed on this. Now that I think about it, did this cat just talk to me? She said I am her Hooman after all. I guess it makes sense. Still, I feel that I missed something somewhere or somehow. Something just felt like it was strange. I'll just go report the incident of today. I went to the place where they house the cats and take care of them. It is a small office near the Hall of Countenance. It was already late at night, but they were still open. I excused myself and talked with the staff. They complained about me going out at the curfew time and carrying the kitten. I don't know what is wrong with these people. This kitten said I am her Hooman. Isn't this enough for them? The argument continued for at least an hour. They finally said that they will take the request, but will have to get permission for it from the higher-ups. Like I care. Apparently she is 2 months old, had no mother, didn't get a collar or a number, and a very playful one. That's why she got caught when she strayed around the college. Anyway, after I reported the incident down in the midden, the atmosphere turned serious and they made me sign on the report too. I reported the numbers of the cats I found. Their numbers were written on their collars, so it was easy to remember them. It seemed there have been some similar incidents. Well, I'll just take the kitten and go now. I want to clean this little one and feed her. Joel's reaction was priceless. She kept looking at the kitten as if she found her archenemy. When I went into my room, I kept looking for some stuff for the kitten. I found some dried fish and water, a pot to wash her and all. She was just adorable. I know how moody cats can be, but this little one is just too good. I started thinking about a good name for her. So, what do you think? Cleopatra, is it good? Meow. No? Okay. Isis. Nebbit? Meow. Pretty one. You're so picky. Hebony? Empty? Still no. She doesn't like pharaonic names. Fine. How about Nefertiti? And we'll call you TT for short? Meow. Well, that's it then. She agreed to it. Couldn't help but pat her few times. TT is so easy to converse with, unlike some humans and most elves. Were you talking with it just now? Jellinar asked. TT is a she, and yes, it is easy, try it. I don't think I can. Why? This is really easy. But she was just meowing. No, she was talking. How can a cat talk? Meow. See, like that. That was meowing. No, she just said, get away from my Hooman. What is Hooman? Me. Meow. Don't worry, TT. Jull is not bad people. Meow. Fine. Just keep eating. Jules, you okay? I am not sure. My head can't just go around that. Let's sleep anyway. Give me a second. Next morning I took TT to Nerina. Apparently, it seemed that TT ignores the rest of the people and talks only to me. I don't know why Nerina was giving me that look. Anyway, I assured her about my meeting with the Augur and told her the parts she can believe anyway. Getting the help of the Augur is already unbelievable enough, let alone his full cooperation. Loneth joined us later and told us about the incident with the cats, as well as the 8 injured students that were dragged by the college guards this morning. Nyrenal's team was disbanded, and she was given a final warning. It seemed that she has quite a long history of ignoring the rules. I would have just expelled her if I was them. So, Brat, what are you going to do about the matter of your vitality? Nerina was in her boss lady mood while going around some papers. I'll wait until next month for the rank-up exam of Sun's Height, July. Until then, I'll just research new spells and put effort into training myself in Jull. No Magicka training anytime soon. After the exam, I'll take Jull and TT south. I'll visit some places around Skyrim and hunt some trolls to train on them. I'll come back for the rank-up exam of Morning Star, January. You will wander for half a year? Loneth was taken aback. Shouldn't evokers go around the land and take inspiration for their research from the outside world? It was a common practice for evokers. That's why it is also called journeyman rank. Yes, but the outside world is dangerous and you don't really need inspiration. Your ideas are already good enough for you to rank up as a scholar. Loneth was still arguing. It's okay, he can go. Nerina said, but whatever it is, you should come back before Morning Star, January. Your coming-of-age ceremony will be held then. Hilda will be coming. I understand. More importantly, do you have a plan in mind, or you are just going to wander aimlessly? Loneth asked. My focus will be on my and Jull's training. I will take some time off-road to avoid any unwanted disturbance. And of course I am teaching Jull how to conjure a fire mare. We will travel at full speed between the touring points. Which places are you visiting? Nerina asked lazily. First, the Shrine of Azura. She looked at me with a lazy but sharp gaze, then sighed. Just whatever it is, don't do anything stupid. Then? Mount Anther. I heard there is a dragon wall there. I am definitely going to study it for some time. Just be careful there. I heard that some dragon walls are considered sacred grounds for the hidden clans. Loneth said. Those idiots. 4 years from now, these places will be the most dangerous places in the world. Why is that? Dragons. Again with dragons? Want to bet? No, I am fine. Loneth never believed in my dragon prophecy anyway. Next, I want to go to the Nightgate village. There is some Nordic ruins that I really want to visit over there. Nordic ruin? Just train on sun magic properly from now then. Got it. My next destination will be Windhelm. I'll check the city out, then hit the road to Whiterun. Why not just go to Whiterun from the Nightgate village? It's just directly to the south. If you go to Windhelm, then you will head east, south, then west. I am only doing some tourism and adventuring. I will also meet with Ongium there, and for some business in Windhelm. What business? Secret. And what will you do into Whiterun? I'll visit Akara and Isolde. Look for a place to hunt trolls. If I didn't find any, I'll go south to Helgen and Falkreath. By that time, at least 4 months should be passed. I'll come back then. Chapter 73, The Opening Day. A week passed since the conversation with Nerina and Loneth. I completely stopped my magic training after my meeting with the Augur, and now I am training my body like the old times. My strength has increased due to the increase in vitality. It is the energy of life after all. The more one have, the more stronger he gets, and it also vary in quality. My training became more extreme. I enchanted some objects to make them heavier and also ran around the circular roof of the college. I did go to town lately from time to time and checked on everything. It was all going smoothly. The whistling mine business is getting better, and they started to build some lodging outside the mine for the miners. The master huntsman was also working smoothly. His group survived an attack by a bear thanks to a scroll I gave him for situations like these. The lumber business, however, was not smooth at all. Those who wanted to lumber started leaving the town to the south of the hold, so I made business contacts with them, and they will provide us when we need. I also sent Ongium to Solitude. He was to buy a lot of furniture for the bathhouse and my manor too. I had my eye on few places in Solitude, so it will go smoothly for him. The ship will also go to Dawnstar to buy boats and fishing tolls. The fishermen in Winterhold lacked all sort of the important stuff, so I extended a hand for them. The general trader, on the other hand, started running a while ago. Berna was buying from me and selling to the townfolk in the reasonable prices they could afford. This may have caused some decline to the inn's business, but no one can complain about that. All these good events added to the town's liveliness and to my popularity. Adding the bathhouse, which will flood the town with money, I think I did a good job. Trudvar kept recruiting more boys from the town. I was putting together some groups to guard the businesses I own and the ones I am investing in. The best way to cover this force is by enlisting them as my sailors, as I nearly have 43 of them. I never knew this, but buying weapons for that number of guards attracted a very unwelcomed attention. The Imperial Legion's fleet that was stationed in the northern waters sent few people to question about the weapons once they heard about. Apparently they heard the news in Dawnstar, or someone ratted my business here. With few nice words of me doing business and establishing a small trading company, they left me alone, leaving behind some words of warning. This made me change some of my plans. Now, I need my own blacksmithing workshop. My best choice is the townsfolk. There are 2 old blacksmiths that had some problems with work and needed money. Guess who showed up? I convinced them to work together and take few students. They needed a tanner and some other craftsmen, so I started doing my best to answer their needs. I also convinced them to work in a big workshop that I will construct for them when I have the chance. I actually own the land necessary, or I own 1/4 of the town's land, but all the masons were busy. Also, they will take a rest after the work in my bathhouse and my manor, so it will take some time. Speaking of my manor and the bathhouse, they are almost done. My manor still lacked most of the necessary pieces of furniture, but the bathhouse was already good to go. More importantly, the opening day is tomorrow. It felt like a boulder that was finally cracked after the long work. This was the reaction of the college's people. Some were really looking forward to this more than even me. I guess advertising was never a problem here. The real business will start with the bathhouse tomorrow. Before I leave for my journey, I need to make sure that everything is working smoothly and Career wouldn't do anything funny. Even though he was restrained by the programming, I don't know what accident may happen when I leave for nearly half a year. My first plan was to make it impossible for him to mess with me, but also I decided to leave the town in secret and spread a rumor that I am making an intense closed-door training in the college. There actually is something like that. After finishing my daily training, I headed to clean myself and eat. My head is still distracted with the business, though. My room was warm and cozy. Joel was not here as she went to the roof for spell spamming training. This only left me and Nefertiti, which was left with Nurina from the morning. Nefertiti was playful as ever. She liked to jump on everything and go into every crate. I even made her a small house from wood, and she called me best Hooman ever. The next hour she started having a bad mood and got angry all of a sudden when I sat on my desk and started studying some spells. I don't know the exact reason, but she was acting spoiled most of the time lately. Speaking of my studies, the spell that I found in Hobbs Fall Cave that was called Corpse Explosion is something really nasty. I now can cast it perfectly, and also went to the midden and tried it on skeevers. I must say that this spell is invaluable when it comes to wars. When the undead or a corpse explode, all sorts of nasty diseases spread. I burned down the place I experimented in just from the idea of something leaking out. This may cause a plague. The spell can be casted on already dead corpses, but it would be much easier to use it on one's own undead. It ravages the fake soul of the undead, so it causes it to explode. To use it on corpses actually needs more energy. Imagine if one rallied his undead into the enemy lines, then used that spell. Both physical, biological, and psychological damage would be great. I was satisfied with this spell and couldn't wait to use it in battle. My next study was on the anti-undead spell. The sun spells are the best counter to undead, and I had my mind too on a new one. An expert level spell that casted as a missile. It is a strong one and needed time to evoke, charge, and cast. I called it ultraviolent. I decimated the undead on its path like nothing. I even asked Nuruna to conjure a strong undead to try it on, and the result was satisfying. After that, I learned a spell Nuruna gave me. It was the Bind spell, an alteration spell that can trap foes and bind them with aspects of speed and weight. I wanted to put some time in training inner magica control, but it was not good with my current condition. After a day of boring and dull work, I took Nefertiti and played with her until she slept. Joel came late and stayed in the room to take care of Nefertiti. I dressed myself and went to town. I had to make sure that everything is perfect for tomorrow. Upon descending the bridge, I walked to the bathhouse building that was being guarded by 5 of my men. My appearance caused their sleepy eyes to sober, and they stood for the boss. It feels damn good to be the mafia boss around these parts. I went into the bathhouse and the place was quiet. The building was divided into 3 areas. The main building, which had a courtyard and few rooms around it. The design was made to allow water to flow around the rooms. Under the courtyard was the basement that had most of the magic machines for pumping, desalination, and filtering the water. The other sides of the building were the south wing, which served as home for the girls, and the north wing, which was the management and the services. Also, the manager's office was there. I walked into the building and looked around. I didn't sense any presence here. When I used scan, I found them all in the south wing. I walked there nonchalantly and knocked on the door. Few seconds later, Alishka opened the door while peeking outside. "What's up?" "Oh, it's you, boss. What are you doing here?" "Came to check. Something wrong?" She barely opened the door and all I could see was her face. "Just give me a second," she said and closed the door, then opened it a minute later. "Come in, boss, but keep quiet." I didn't know what was going on, so I walked inside lightly. The place was warm in here. Looking at Alishka, she was barely dressed. Her curves were visible under the light clothes she was in, and it barely covered anything too. "I am seeing something nice here." I couldn't hold back my grin. "Sorry, boss. We didn't know you were coming, and I was in the middle of training the girls before tomorrow." "Training, huh? Getting ready for the big day?" "Yes, boss." I smiled slyly. "Can I peek?" Alishka giggled and said, "You are the boss, so you can just take a look around." "I don't think the girls are that comfortable around me yet," I said, "and it is much fun to peek." "Yes, I may be me, but I learned peeking at a very young age." "Who taught me?" "Well, it was Delvin and Brynjolf. The main target was normally Vex, who always found us. I wasn't taken to be taught anyway. I was just the scapegoat who get caught while they run. Well, that was the case until I tied Brynjolf once and left him under the mercy of both Vex and Tanilia. I couldn't do that with Delvin yet. So, peeking in my own bathhouse sounded so much fun, no matter how anyone thinks how wired it is. Anyway, I heard a lot of pleasant voices from the wall next to me. According to Alishka, the girls were training with each other. "Look like they are having fun." "Thanks to you, boss. These girls found a warm home and a good place to live in. They have food and all what they can ask for. Also, if you compare them to the before, you will get surprised." "Yeah, I saw some of them actually gain some weight and look healthier. They indeed don't look pale like they used to be, and they look much better now." I walked with her and inspected the place well. Some girls passed by and they started gathering their clothes that were as light and revealing as Alishka's, but they only got glared at by her. "Mistress, ditto. You're here, boss." A girl came and greeted us. She looked familiar. "Oh, you are that make Winterhold great again girl?" "Hee hee. Yes, boss. My name is Jvanka." "What? Jvanka?" "Boss? Oh, I remembered something unpleasant. Must be a coincidence. Gotta be. No. Ehem. Sorry, eh? Nice name. Heh. Who are you named after?" "I don't know, boss." "And your father is?" "His name is Jonald the Drumpf, a stonemason." Boss? Oh, I remembered something unpleasant again. Hey, a stone mason, huh? He must have built many walls. Yes, boss. He always dreamed about building the biggest wall in Winterhold. Boss? Oh, thank you, Jvanka. Excuse me. I just couldn't hear this anymore and took myself away. This is madness. Are you okay, boss? Alishka followed me when I walked away. Yes, just remembered something. My head was spinning from the headache that assaulted my out of nowhere. I was having some second thoughts about the walls in Winterhold now. This way, boss. Where to? Didn't you want to peek? I almost forgot. Where Alishka stood was on the stairs to the next floor. There seemed to be an opening in the wall enough for 1-2 peek on the whole room. Just as I looked through it, the blood ran through my head, and I felt a weird sensation in my nose. Retreat. Abort peeking. I looked away immediately. No, I must be strong. I must withstand it. I will look again. I am ready this time. Let's do it. This is. Like what you see, boss. Damn. Some girls were doing this. Some girls were doing that. Point is, I don't know what was this or that. This was mostly a girl-on-girl action, and it was my first time seeing in live. Hey, Alishka. Yes. This won't do. Let's find a room? Are you okay, boss? Alishka followed me when I walked away. Yes, just remembered something. My head was spinning from the headache that assaulted my out of nowhere. I was having some second thoughts about the walls in Winterhold now. This way, boss. Where to? Didn't you want to peek? I almost forgot. Where Alishka stood was on the stairs to the next floor. There seemed to be an opening in the wall enough for 1-2 peek on the whole room. Just as I looked through it, the blood ran through my head, and I felt a weird sensation in my nose. Retreat. Abort peeking. I looked away immediately. No, I must be strong. I must withstand it. I will look again. I am ready this time. Let's do it. This is. Like what you see, boss. Damn. Some girls were doing this. Some girls were doing that. Point is, I don't know what was this or that. This was mostly a girl-on-girl action, and it was my first time seeing in live. Hey, Alishka. Yes. This won't do. Let's find a room? I looked at her and started losing my reason. Boss, this won't do. If we do it with you now, I may not be able to be ready tomorrow. Why is that, I wonder? It's just that, boss. You do things a bit strong. She was stuttering on her words and retreating back until she had no room to retreat more. And do you think it is right for a healthy young man like myself to see all that and just stay cool-headed? I trapped her to the wall with my arms and got closer. Yes, the boss is a healthy young man, but maybe too healthy. What is that about? I was not planning on letting her go anyway. I started touching her body, which was burning like fire. Listen, boss, I know yo. No, don't touch here moaning this. Not, boss. Something you want to say it quickly. I was going insane from that sinful body of hers, but I figured she wanted to say something. Can you please not do it hard like last time? We just can take it easy. Oh, now that I think about it, Alishka may think that I do it a bit hardcore because of our 2 times before. She is the kind who doesn't like that, it seemed. I calm myself down and breath normally. Fine, take me somewhere we can do it. Alishka nodded and walked to the next floor. She was giving me a great view of something nice. When I followed her, I felt that someone was looking. Some girls seemed to have noticed us and started peeking. I don't mind anyway. Alishka walked to a room and I followed in. It was a big room with a big bed, full furniture and all. Your room? She nodded to me and smiled. Can you leave everything to me? So she wants to take the lead. Well, haven't tried that before, but fine by me. Sit down. Would you like to drink something? Is she trying to make it a bit romantic or something? I don't understand, but I'll play along. I sat on the bedside and followed her with my eyes. Thank you. She handed me some wine in an elegant goblet and sat next to me. She started talking about this and that. Apparently, she wanted to cool my head first. I must admit, she knows what she is doing. A while later, we stuck to each other, and she put my hand on her chest and got entangled in a long kiss that way. Alishka is something else after all. Everyone has their talent they are the best in, and her talent is sex. After fondling her chest and kissing her for a while, she fixed her position and I removed these pieces of cloth that hid that beautiful body. What I saw made me lose my words. Alishka's body is like none other. Her voluptuous hourglass figure, white skin and brown hair made everything so desirable. Her large eyes, hazel eyes, round face and cheeks showed nothing but beauty. She was standing on her knees on the bed and bended her body down to take another round of kissing. After a while of sucking my soul by her lips, she crossed her arms under her beasts and closed them to my face. I answered her call and held her waist, then attacked her beasts with my face. I bit on her nibbles and played with them, and she was smiling and switching me from a breast to the other. After that she stood and undressed me herself, while making me kiss any part of her that comes to my reach. I was pushed on the bed too. Just as my clothes were down, she descended on Little John with her breasts and started rubbing. We would take a chance to kiss with each round. After doing it for some time, I felt her taking Little John in her mouth. It was being tormented left and right, and I felt that feeling again. Alishka is expert in this part. Her tongue is doing wonders now. I had to fix my position to see her doing her magic. I felt intoxicated by pleasure, yet she was not done with me. When she took her time tormenting Little John in her mouth, she moved back to me and started assaulting my body and kissing me everywhere she could reach. Unlike before, Alishka was enjoying herself too this time. She is not a bathhouse wench after all. She is my business partner, and we have to keep the relationship warm. I was leaning on the bed all the time and watching this amazing show. Also, I was not the only watcher. There were some peeping Toms watching us from outside. Ignoring them, I took Alishka and draged her on the bed beside me, then targeted her sinful booty. Her booty was glorious and proud. A full round bubble, but that drives people insane, was now under my full control. I took time with it. This sinful booty needed punishment, and all I did was biting and playing with it. Alishka was moving her legs happily and smiling at me all the time. I stood up to fix my position on her and went on another round with that crazy booty. My hand slipped between her hips right to her pussy. The place was warm and nice, but we aren't doing it this early. I took my time, then started going all the way up through her back to her left shoulder and all these curves until I finally reached her lips once again, and we forgot ourselves in a kissing deadlock. John, do it. So I finally took the green flag. Hee hee. Yes, ride your lordship. How can I decline such an offer? She was in a good mood after I agreed to go softcore with her. Even cracking jokes and tickling her was making it better. Finally, I took her from her back and pushed her down. She was squirming playfully and shaking her butt left and right for me. Spank. It indeed jiggles. Let's go in. I fixed myself behind her and aimed Little John into her oven. That sinful pussy shall get wrecked tonight. As I got in, I moved in slowly for her to adjust. I was planning to put all of it in. John. Did it get bigger? You like it? Just don't go crazy like last time. Got it. As we were talking, I was already on top of her and leaned on her flawless back to kiss every inch of its beauty. She twisted herself to face me, and we kissed as I started thrusting in. She was also in the mood and moved her hips make it faster. We continued like this for some time before we decided to change position. I took some rest and lied on my back. System, show me stamina. 89/100. I am not even there yet. Alishka lied beside me, and we went into a cuddle. You are really enjoying this, I said. This woman was all smiles. To tell you the truth, this is the first time I do it on my terms, she said. I thought so. She worked in a bathhouse until she became a MILF like this. No one wouldn't take her to just make her do what she wants. She had a thing for kissing, and I started to like it. She was a master beyond my league in terms of experience, so I was seriously learning from her too. She lied over me while kissing for a while. As she finally took her time like that, she sat up and moved herself on top of me. She is going for cowgirl. She took Little John into its end. I could feel it reaching deep until it reached an end. Just as it reached to this point, Alishka started moving herself up and down, and my oh my. Everything is moving everywhere. Every time she went up and down, her breasts were going around and up and down. She then leaned on me and her breasts were moving everywhere all over my face. I grabbed them and took at one with my mouth. She was moaning while moving herself and the stage got heated once again. This was it. We were losing it together this time. I hugged her tightly and moved my hips faster and faster. She was moaning and hugging my head into her chest. It's a bit nice here, but no room to breath. Feeling we had to do it faster, I moved my body with her on top of me, then twisted myself and became on top of her. She locked her legs around my waist, and I moved my hips like mad. She was moaning louder and pulling her hair with a hand while hugging on my head with the other. It's coming. Don't stop. This was no good, but things went out of hand already. I was about to come and there was no way from this. She also came with me, and our bodies were still clinging on each other. I wasn't out of the woods yet. She was pleasuring herself with all she got and kept kissing me again and again. My senses came to me, so I checked my stamina again. SP 64/103. I still can go 2 more time. I don't think I have any power left. I guess Xena took most of the burden from her last time. Anyway, I need to wash some. Come, let's the first one to bathe in the bathhouse be you. Well, I own it, so why not? We went to a bathing room naked and bathed for the whole night. I can't enter the college now anyway, so I'll be staying in Alishka's room. During the bath, we got closer than just the wench and the client relationship from before. Anyway, this was my official first night with my sex friend and business partner, Alishka. My senses came to me, so I checked my stamina again. SP 64/103. It increased, huh? I still can go 2 more time. I don't think I have any power left. I guess Xena took most of the burden from her last time. Anyway, I need to wash some. Come, the first one to bathe in the bathhouse will be us. Well, we own it, so why not? We went to a bathing room naked and bathed for the whole night. I can't enter the college now anyway, so I'll be staying in Alishka's room. During the bath, we got closer in relationship and became more familiar with each other, more than just the wench and the client relationship from before. Anyway, this was my official first night with my sex friend and business partner, Alishka. Next morning, I sneaked back to the college. Nonetheless, I was excited as anyone else. The bathhouse is opening today. I had arrangements with the boys today. We are going out to celebrate. Rusning, who was busy in his research lately, as well as Hooman and Svidal. I also brought Morbagog and Marin, who worked with me in most on this bathhouse. We met at the afternoon and I took them to spend money in the bathhouse. The college students were flocking the place, and it seemed that business has started earlier than usual. The day was spent quickly, so as money. Of course I was earning money too, but no one knew that. All that was told the public that I only invested here and made the bathhouse possible. I also sat in a place to hide from most people. I wanted to see how people will react to the bathhouse in the first day. Of course I made prices high to just suit the students and not the townsfolk. It was going my way anyway. At evening, some unexpected visitors popped up. First, it was Eilil, whose nose was bleeding. I had to make the guards chase her out. Next, some teachers came in. I was expecting them anyway. After that, some Altmare boys came while hiding their features. They didn't want anyone to know they came. Sigh. Typical high elves. The most expected one was Teacher Talfdir. The old bones was healthy as ever when he came. He was hiding his features too, but I found out. This was better than I thought. With this much customers, I don't think I will have to worry about the town's economy anyway. This is a true game changer. I left the place to Alishka and the girls with some words of encouragement and went back to the college. I had an exam in less than a month, and I have to be prepared. Bonus. Black small square bad Hooman. Hooman. Nefertiti. What do you want, cutie? John. You abandoned me, Naya. Bad Hooman, Naya. Nefertiti. What's with her, Joel? John. She is in a bad mood since yesterday. Joel. Yes, Naya. I smell another one on you, Naya. Nefertiti. Another what now? Joel. Joel. When did you start to understand Nefertiti? No, wait. John. Chapter 74. Hitting the Road. 3 weeks have passed and now it is the first of sun's height. July. 4 times 10 to the power of negative 196. An annoying Midas, Monday, as any other. I just finished the rank up exam and ranked to Evoker. Not just that, but as someone who worked on the Atronach mounts with Nerina, I got to submit a Flame Atronach horse spell. Of course, I didn't give them the Arabian horse one. I gave them the bulky Nord horse that runs like a duck. All that time, rumors were going around about me riding on a fire horse in town, and many people came and asked about it, but I turned them all down. I just submitted that spell and made it more complicated than normal, so it doesn't go around easily. I didn't really want to submit it, but it was the best one I do. All my other spells were a bit over the norm, and by submitting it after the rank up exam, I now have the qualifications to rank up to the scholar rank, but it would take a while before I start thinking seriously about it. By the way, I ranked first in the exam too, but it wasn't by a Spartan over the top score like last time. I just got the full mark and nothing looked weird about it. Well, until I discovered that the second student rank didn't even get close to me. Sigh. I am being looked at once again. Unlike last time, I am now known as the leader of the Creation Club and the Thane of Winterhold. No one can mess with me. Speaking of the Creation Club, we made few good achievements and got credited for the machines in the bathhouse, which I asked Alishka to submit a request for. This all added to the popularity of our team, and some new members joined. Alile handled the new members, as I was mostly the mascot of the club anyway. My job was to put projects and give them ideas. I also help, but I leave most of the work to them like any good boss. The most interesting new members were Rundy and Brover, who just ranked up to apprentices and were my roommates when I first arrived here. They are brothers and twins at that. Still, they disagreed with each other over every little thing, but they shared an overwhelming love for mead. They wanted to open a meadery that can rival the Blackbriar and Honningbrew meads. I heard their ideas and promised them support as long as they established that meadery in Winterhold. I also gave them some warnings about the dangers of their research and all that. Why would I do all that? Well, there is something here that most players wouldn't really know. Rundy and Brover are NPCs from the game. They may not give any impression to a player like me, and they were hard to remember at first, but these two, along with Yisra and another student, were under a quest called Missing Students. The player has to go look for 4 students that have gone missing just to find 4 horrible death accidents occurred to them. This is a college quest that got cut from the game, but one can actually find the corpses anytime around Winterhold. I intend to change that. Rundy and Brover are 2 good fellows and deserve saving. Yisra may be an arsonist, but she is a talented mage and a friend. I met the 4th student once, but I will at least give him an advice. The Creation Club was doing just fine now, but there is one more important news. We are submitting the 2 projects we worked on now. To submit such a project, we had to go through some regulations and paperwork, but we left that to Ilal. Perverts are good with paperwork anyway. The first project is the Magicameter, which can measure one's magicka. It was met with some suspension at first, but I made sure it was working well by comparing it to my system. It showed nearly 520 MP, but of course, I would keep that a secret to myself. When it was submitted after the exam, some students from the other clubs wanted to try it, but their reactions were not that friendly. An Altmere student made a fuss when the device showed 130 MP for him, and the same score for a Nord student. This caused more problems, but the submission overseer was teacher Tolfdir himself, who confirmed that the device is right as the racial difference was mostly in talent, but not magicka. When Tolfdir himself used the device, it went over the 1000 MP mark by a little. Actually, the device was made with a common soul gem, which its capacity doesn't exceed the 1000 MP. The device was submitted and adopted by the college. This gave enough contribution points to the team for a rank up and a big reward. The second device was the Dairymeter that I shamelessly named after myself. It can detect the output frequency and block it if it goes haywire. Unlike the Magicameter, this was completely under my name as the lead researcher, and a device that made the submission overseers, as well as the other teachers, jump from the scare when they heard the description. For them, this device is just too great to not stand up for. As I intended, it was a glove with a measuring device on its back. When a spell gets cast, it detects the flow of magicka in every phase of the spell. Once it goes haywire, the glove cancels the spell. The value of this device in their eyes was high, so I prepared few of it and gifted them to the overseers immediately. It is not that expensive. This alone secured me enough contributions to advance for the wizard rank. I still lack some other qualifications, but I will take my time anyway. Of course, we celebrated and all. The rewards of the college were always generous, and I was congratulated by Savos Aran himself. After this point, I had no more work or researches I want to do at the college. Also, I was packing my things for the journey. Before I leave, I had to check the town. It has been a week since I moved to my new manor. I called it Sea Mist Manor. Most beautiful and artistic buildings have its unique names like Lakeview or Honeyside, so I called this way. The place was great. The furniture was good, and everything looked as I imagined. I finally had my own kitchen where I can try making the food I wanted to make long ago. I want to make noodles, shawarma, kushari, pizza, and all these good stuff, but my experience in cooking is not something to be proud of, so I will learn bit by bit. My room was the most amazing place in the world in my eyes right now. Jelinar wanted to make the attic her own room, so I gave it to her anyway. Nefertiti also loved the place and ran around everywhere. In the basement, there was a door made of Dwemer metal that has 3 keyholes and looks sturdy as hell. This was the combined work of me, Morbagog, and Marin. Of course, the 3 keyholes were just a distraction. The original keyhole was behind a brick in the wall, and it needed a special key to open. This door leads to the vault, a safe room reinforced by metal and contained most of my money and important research papers. It is also made to keep the artifacts that I will obtain in the future. Other than that, I try to think of planting some winter herbs around the manor, but we'll leave that for later. Other than the house, the bathhouse was working just fine and it made some good income. The town started to feel the circulation of money and things started looking good. I also sneaked to the bathroom a few times to spend the night with Alishka. All in all, life was going well. I went to my room and threw myself on my ridiculously large bed to get enough sleep for tomorrow. Tomorrow became today, and the morning was cold. I returned to the college and went to see Nurina, Lonith, and my friends. Nurina heartlessly gave me another shopping list. I was waiting for something more, but I was told off. Lonith gave me a tome with some ideas and spells she worked on and told me they will prove helpful in the adventure. After that, I left the college and met with Angium. I told him to meet me sometime from now in Windhelm and bring an extra crew with him. I had some business there. Finally, I gave Trudvar some money and a new weapon. I also took my hammer, the Agniare, back. I'll be needing it in this journey. I had my gear on, my scaled armor from the tournament and all. I covered myself in a traveling cloak and carried Nefertiti, who was warped in some warm fur. Jules followed carrying a knapsack. Just like this, we sneaked out of town under the cover of daylight. Don't ask how. As we walked a fair distance away from the town, I conjured 2 fire horses and Joel conjured one. We put our stuff on one and rode the others. I don't think Joel or Nefertiti can handle a high-speed ride, so we just rode on moderate speed. 6 hours passed and we reached Whistling Mine. I went down and greeted the people over here. It was also a good chance to rest from riding. The place has changed. On the other side of the road, a small village was built. This was not here before and definitely looked like progress to me. I think I can fund them to make an inn here. I didn't stay for too long. I wanted to reach the Shrine of Azura before the sunset. The shrine is on top of the mountain that the cave is under. There is a steep route, but I will have no problems with it. Normally wolves live in this area, but one of the perks of riding a flame Atronak horse is that the wolves won't dare to approach. The path leading to the shrine is found not far south of Whistling Mine and rises sharply to the west. To reach it, one should travel southeast along the path from Winterhold in the direction of Windhelm. If the weather is clear, it is possible to see a long way in all directions. After 2 hours of fast riding, the shrine showed itself sitting atop a stone fort-like structure that was supposedly built by Dunlain, who revere her. There is an altar in front of the massive statue. In front of this is where a woman Urania spends all her time worshipping. To the right of the altar on a level below is a small camp consisting of a small tent. We arrived right before the sunset and climbed the stairs to the altar area where I remember Urania spends her time. Indeed, there is more tents than I thought, and some more Dunlain people who came for the pilgrimage as it seemed. I looked at the massive, beautiful statue and felt the wonder of its beauty. I don't know who exactly built it, but they are artists. Azure of the Crimson Gate, also known as Azura, the Queen of Dawn and Dusk, Mother of the Rose, and Queen of the Night Sky, is a Daedric prince whose sphere is dawn and dusk, the magic in between realms of twilight, as well as vanity and egotism. Azura is one of the few Daedra who maintains the appearance of being good by mortal standards and presumably feels more concern for the well-being of her mortal subjects than other Daedric princes. She is one of the few Daedric princes who constantly maintains a female image and is perceived accordingly. Although she is never overtly deceitful, the way Azura always gets what she desires in the end and how titanic events always follow her interventions can be portrayed as disturbing. Her followers acknowledge that she is cruel but wise. While she is considered one of the good Daedra by the Dunmer of Morrowind, elsewhere she has been known to be allied with Molag Bal, who is known to the Dunmer as one of the four corners of the House of Troubles. The people of the Iliac Bay region believe that Azura bewitches some of her followers to become her lovers and virtual slaves. Azura's realm in Oblivion is called Moonshadow, is a realm created and ruled over by her. The realm claimed to be so beautiful that visiting mortals are half-blinded. The realm contains flowers and waterfalls, majestic trees, and a city of silver. The wind smells of perfume, and the realm is known to have rain. Azura lives in a rose palace and is welcoming to mortal travelers. This is what all I could remember from reading about her. For her to be the first Daedric prince I try to deal with, then I sure am not bad. I was in deep thought that even Nefertiti in my hand didn't move and kept quiet. Azura, ha! A voice came from the side that made me jump away. The one who spoke was a Dunmer woman in the robes of monks. She was covered in fur because of the cold weather and looked a bit bothered. Ahem. Azura has seen your coming, traveler. It was not curiosity, but fate that has led you here, she said. I looked at the woman who seemed to be Urania, the priestess of Azura. I looked at the statue and smiled. Well, even curiosity is a fate. But I guess Lady Azura can see me coming from miles away. I mean, we can see her statue from Winterhold. Of the sky is clear. No, Azura has given me the gift of foresight. I had a vision of you walking up the steps to this altar long before you were born. You have been chosen to be her champion. I know it is unexpected, but do not worry. It will all unfold as she has predicted. And you must go to a fortress endangered by water, yet untouched by it. Inside, you will find an elven mage who can turn the brightest star as black as night. She said, it is cryptic, I know, but Azura's signs are never wrong. I believe the fortress may refer to Winterhold. Ask if they know this elven enchanter. I guess I know who I am looking for, but can I camp here for the night? You are welcome here. Thank you. May the twilight guide you. I left the woman and told Joel to bring our camping gear. This will be a cold night. Bonus. Black small square on the mountain of Azura's shrine. Hooman, what is that, Naya? This is our kingdom, Nefertiti. Our kingdom, Naya? Yes, anything under the sun is our kingdom. The tent is getting cold, you idiots. Chapter 75, Thalmor. Good morning. It's warm in here, completely unlike the outside. My survival instincts are telling me to not even think about getting up. This only because my fur tent kept the inside so damn nice and warm. Even though I am a Nord, I have that bad habit of not waking up early in cold days. I was still dragged out by force and had some snow shoved in my clothes. Joel was in a bad mood, as it seemed that I have snored a bit in the night. Even Nefertiti joined the other side and bullied me. I just can't. Sob, this is too hard. Breakfast was ready. Of course, I shamelessly sat down hoping to get some food, but Joel was not even talking to me. I should never snore anymore. Yep, I am sorry. I can't make puppy eyes, so I was still treated coldly and had a little food. Nefertiti, who sided with Joel, was chewing on her favorite dried fish. She has grown a bit since the time I took her in. Still, I won't allow her to get fat and lazy. Well, she is lazy. After some time, we said farewell to Urania, the priestess of Azura. We took off on our flame Atronak horses that we conjured at some distance away from the shrine. Looking back at that beautiful statue, I had an urge and remembered something. System, can you take a screenshot? Confirmed. Would you like to name the image? Ho ho ho. This Augur, what a fine work he did here. Let's try this then. Save it under the name, statue with boobs. Saving. Please choose a save folder. Save what now? What is that folder thing I heard? Save it in. Skyrim landscape folder. Processing your request. Building the data will be done according to the image the host have in mind. Would you like to proceed? The hell? He didn't tell me it can do all that. Proceed. Confirmed. Displaying the data will be done relying on the aspects of illusion. The data displaying will take form based on modern knowledge from the host's memory. Please wait. What th? Loading is complete. Displaying the files. What is in front of me is something like a menu. It has some options like status, magic, equipments, map, save data. Save data was like this. Save data. Times Skyrim landscape. Play button statue foods. Jepch. Huh. Oi. Oi. Are you kidding with me? System, did you upgrade or something? Last update, 7 hours, 6 minutes, 35 seconds ago. For detailed information, please contact the main branch. Main branch now? Fuck you. Sigh. Contact the main branch. Confirmed. Activating the telepathic link. Your call was expected. Don't tell me you are going to open a KFC stall soon. The idea would be tempting if I had a mortal body. What in oblivion did you do to the system? I must apologize for the first attempt at updating the system. It was my first time. After all, think of the last one as a beta version. Fine. Why did you change it anyway? It is simply because I could comprehend more knowledge from your memories. Did you finally turn red and started calling yourself Skynet? No at all. My goal was to put more effort into assisting you. Well, thanks. Please make full use of the upgrades. On the following updates, I will make sure to contact you beforehand. Okay, I was just shocked. Thank you. Telepathic link ended. Sigh. My immersion is getting destroyed. What would Lord MXR think of his faithful follower if he knew about this? MXR, famous Skyrim YouTuber, known as the Immersive Lord. Sigh. Can't stop sighing. Okay. System. Show me what you got. Status. Name. John Dare. Race. Human, Nord. Age. 15. Level. 17. Attributes. Health. 148. Stamina. 107. Magicka. 525. Active effects. Astral damage. 19%. Nothing changed here. It just doesn't show magic anymore. Equipments. Plus head. Plus upper. Plus lower. Plus accessories. Plus weapons. Ho ho. Let's check them all. Times head. Hood. Black fur, cloth. Mask. Black linen face cover, cloth, times upper. Shirt. Gray shirt, cloth. Curious. Scaled, light, 50% resist magic. Cloak. Black fur, cloth. Gloves. Light, MP consumption minus 10%, times lower. Pants. Black traveling pants, cloth. Boots. Leather, muffled, light. Times accessories. Ring. Narina's ring. Magicka Regan, 150%. Necklace. Amulet of Talos. Thumb cooldown minus 50%. Times weapons. Saber. Skyforge steel. Paralyze plus burden enemy gear. Warhammer. Agniare steel. Sun damage. Dagger. Steel. Damn. My fetish for wearing black clothes is showing its full might here. I approve. Good job, Augur. I think I already know the map and the magic, but I want to see the new spells. Mysticism. Necromancy. Reanimate. Supply undead. Corpse explosion. Alteration. Object. Stone skin. Flame skin. Acceleration. Moved from mysticism. Time. Binding. Restoration. Sun. Sun rays. Sunfire. Sun rune. Holy smite. Paladin's aura. Ultraviolent. Great. I can't wait to use them. Hooman. Someone coming, Naya. Damn it. I raised a flag. Where is that? Ahead, Naya. I cast scan to detect any signs of life or energy, but I found nothing. I wasn't surprised. Nefertiti is a mage sentry cat. Her kind is terrifying when it comes to detection or finding stuff. Even those who go into stealth with magic or hidden by the powers of oblivion can be detected by these cats. Nerina said that they can sense magicka better than any living being. To think Nefertiti can do it at almost 4 months of age. That's my girl. I couldn't help but kiss that furry tiny thing. Now let's try to see further. I cast 2 times, and 2 familiar falcons flew ahead. I was curious about who would come to this barren place. This is the area west of the Shrine of Azura. This place has nothing but snow, not even a road. I even have to cast scan on the ground from time to time just to avoid any surprises. The idea of someone traveling in this place other than me is somehow worth looking into. I may have to hide if it is something I can't face. Finally, my familiars detected something over 300 meters away. Damn, girl. Can you hear all this distance? I commanded the familiars to descend and investigate. These were some people. The vision I receive from the familiars are vague, but I can tell from the movement that these are mostly weak people. Some look like carrying some weapons, but the others appear to be carrying children. What is this? A caravan? It can't be. Not in this place. Joel, we are advancing ahead. Take Nefertiti with you. Something is not right. Understood. Joel took the small basket Nefertiti stayed in, and I rode faster to scout ahead. I have a pinpoint mark on both Joel and Nefertiti, so they mostly can appear on the map. System. Minimap. Asterisk map asterisk. Good. My allies are the blue dots. My familiars are the green. Those people are yellow. Kinda cool. The fire horse galloped on the snow, and its speed was amazing as ever. Not even a minute has passed and I was facing a group of people. They were in a miserable state. Some were even injured badly. They were about 30, mostly women and children with 7 men holding weapons. They looked as if they went through oblivion and back. Once they saw a man on a fire horse, they easily panicked and fell on their knees. They looked as if their minds were on the brink of despair, and they easily fell to it. The 7 men jumped ahead to face me. Peace. I raised a hand. I hope I didn't give you a scare. I am just a traveling mage. I removed my hood and face cover in attempt to make a friendly face. The people looked at each other as if not expecting to see a Nord. Well, sorry to break it to you. Is something chasing you people? Master Mage, please save us, we are dying. A woman broke in crying after she wrapped the situation up in her mind. She cried at me holding her son in her arms. Speak. I urged the men in the front to speak. The eldest man among them put his spear away and said, Thalmor, Sir Mage. The Thalmor are chasing us. The situation was simple. A cult of Talos worshippers lived in a village south to Dawnstar. It was in the west of Winterhold, 5 days of walking apart. These people appeared to be a cult that worshipped Talos in secret and was discovered by the Thalmor. The Thalmor forced the Empire to allow them to hunt the worshippers of Talos in Skyrim after the accident of Markarth and what Ulfric Stormcloak did when he demanded for the free worship. His action led to another political breakdown between the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion, as allowing Ulfric to have the free worship he asked for was a violation to the White Gold Concordat that was signed to end the Great War. Due to this, the Thalmor agents and soldiers started going around Skyrim, hunting the secret worshippers like dogs. How hateful. More to that, the Thalmor actually dared and ventured farthest east. One must know that the policies of the Empire are more applied west than east of Skyrim, as in the west was the capital, Solitude, the center of the imperial power, and in the east was the ancient city of Windhelm, the stronghold of Ulfric Stormcloak and the future base of the Stormcloak rebellion against the Empire. This was clear as daylight. The Thalmor are provoking Ulfric. They want him to find out about their crimes against Nords near his doorstep, else, why would they let those people run all the way from the north of Skyrim to the east where they know it would be safer? These people are just some messengers to put more oil on Ulfric's fire. How sly. I tried to locate the Thalmor, and they were not that far, just half an hour away based on how leisurely they were traveling. Their elven armors and robes gave them away immediately under the vision of my familiars. I couldn't let the familiars go nearer as they will get discovered and alert the Thalmor. Still, their number was almost 32. I can't face them alone. If I am going to act, I have two objectives. First, the survival of the people. I had nothing to give them. The food I carry is only enough for 2 and a cat. Second, the Thalmor need to be killed. Now, let's act based on what we can do. I gave the people directions towards the Shrine of Azura. This is the nearest place of inhabitants anyway. Jullinar finally caught up, and it was the time to lay an ambush. The Thalmor will be here soon, and there is an amulet of Talos on me. I don't think they would let a random human traveler pass alive anyway. These elves are lawless. Joel, hand me the soul gems bag. I said these words and my heart was quivering in pain. What will you do? Watch and learn. There is nothing called number superiority when it comes to John Dare. Yeah, sure. Here, go and get us killed. Sigh. This girl needs to learn some manners. Anyway, let's get this over with. I went to the tracks of the escapees and started to prepare. I had 11 lesser soul gems which will be used right now. I am using a technique I learned lately. It is classified as Conjure Frost Atronak, but this is called Conjure Frost Guardian. What is it, you ask? Well, it is the same as Conjure Frost Atronak. The only differences are, one barely get to control them around, and they stay in place. The only orders one can give them is enemy, ally, hide, stuff like that. More than that, they don't just get conjured by normal magicka and cast technique. They require a lesser soul gem each. Pretty wasteful, right? Well, they also have a big advantage. They are not bound to oblivion anymore, which means they are summoned permanently. Due to that, they are stronger than their normal summon and leave bodies behind when they die. Not like the normal summon that gets its body back to oblivion. The best part about their trashy control is that you can have a large number of them. Larger than the number one normally can control. With the flaw of their mobility, all guardian summons are perfect for defense and ambush. Now I am surrounded by 11 of those, and I could hide them successfully around the tracks. They look like ice pieces if one didn't notice their magicka. This is perfect. I am in good mood now. Time to hide. I ran from the place and went to a higher ground where Joel and Nefertiti hid. The last touch I wanted to add was some undead. To not harm the Frost Guardians with friendly fire, I had to summon only Mist Men, the floating black upper half skeletons that cast frost magic. I can get 8 of them. In my hand was a bound bow, and Joel was carrying her bow. We will hunt them in the fray. Not long later, Nefertiti heard them getting nearer. I was on my toes ready for the ambush. Slowly they walked like mice in the trap, not expecting what was waiting for them. Almost there. Now they are surrounded. Attack. Chapter 76, Red Hair, Red Eyes. There is a vote on Discord. It is about the Star of Azura. You can vote between the Star of Azura that can trap white souls of animals and other beings, or the Black Star that can trap the black souls of mortals. This is a 4K words chapter. Just to let you know and appreciate it. Justiciar Lariner's POV? Nords. How filthy. They are not just humans. They are the lowest kind of humans. At least those filthy Bretons walk around showing off their elven ancestry. But you will never find anyone as lowly as Nords. Those monkeys that worship a demon like Lorcan and a lowly human like Talos deserve nothing but to be chased and killed like the dogs they are. Even their empire has given up on them due to their stupidity. Now we should do our mission, and we should do it right. A message has to be sent for that Jarl and Windhelm. Still, we can enjoy some hunting on the way. Those mongrels refused to die out and fought a hopeless fight shouting Sovngarde this and Sovngarde that. Some of them actually died smiling. I mean, can anyone believe it? What are their brains made of? I wouldn't have even believed they have ones until when I cracked a head and looked into it. They always fight. They are getting on my nerves and under my skin. They just need to be eradicated once and for all. Justiciar Lariner, you are making that face once again. I get it. I apologize, Justiciar Ronril. I just get into a dire mood when I start thinking about those mongrels. They are giving us this headache, running around this damnable wasteland. The one spoke to me was my senior. He is a lazy old one, promoted to a justiciar 16 years ago, yet with no achievements whatsoever. Even though he was said to be talented, he is being chased by his ghosts from the Great War and drinks them away. Pathetic and worthless. Now his worth is nothing, and all he does is beginner's work. Don't we all get sick of them? You may have been promoted recently, but don't let it get into your head. He said, those Nords may be worthless as far as the word worthless can get, but you should never look down on a cornered rat. You don't know how fierce a cornered rat can fight. Blah. Here he goes again with his nonsense. Huh. What can those lowly trash do? I apologize in advance, but you guys will have to write a detailed report on how will I slaughter them and rip them apart. The one who spoke was Seelan, an arrogant fool who was promoted with me. I don't know why would I get chosen to do a mission with these two fools. Easy there. We need to at least make sure that one or two of them get to that shithole they call Windhelm. Don't forget the mission we are on. I have to remind them not to go overboard and ruin this damn mission. I am not worried about Ronril since he barely does anything useful anyway. The one who I am worried about is Seelan. He is a psychopathic fucker that loves nothing more than hearing screams. What does a girl like you know anyway? Seelan said, if I acted like a wimp and didn't do anything serious, I may get stuck in this job for who knows how many years. He was speaking ill of me and Ronril in the same time, huh? Well, let's see what am I going to write about you in the report. You shouldn't talk like that, Justiciar Seelan. Ronril rode his horse between ours. Those Nords you want to kill dearly are nothing, but people who are going to perish sooner or later. You should set your eyes on the bigger picture. Bigger picture? I asked. I am sure after you two got promoted you heard about those people who call themselves the hidden clans of Skyrim. They are the true power behind this land. Something you have to be wary of all the time. Hidden clan. Humph. They are just Nords, bound to die under my sword like any other Nords no matter what they call themselves. Hidden clans. Companions. Such vulgar names. Seelan kept going with his haughty act. Can't we just kill him here and tell the soldiers not to talk about it? But I have read the report about the hidden clans. Pretty mysterious tales were written about them. Giant's blood, beast blood, fire blood, Akaviri blood. Too many bloods. It seemed that they are powerhouses with unique blood lineages that for some reason hid from the political world and kept moving the undercurrents from the shadows. Even though they are Nords, they are not that stupid. Let's see what this Ronril fool knows about them. I have read the report about them, but many things appear to be classified. What does Senior know about them? I just threw that thing away. Hidden clans my ass. Seelan interrupted me rudely. No one even was talking to you, Justiciar Seelan. I said without even looking at him. Worthless dog. You. Seelan was grinding his teeth. That sure hit the mark. Calm down, you two. This is not the manners justiciars should show, especially in front of soldiers. Ronril said, sigh. Regarding your question, Justiciar Lariner, the hidden clans are forces originated from the ancient 500 companion of Iskramor, an Atmaran, ancient Nords, murderer who eradicated a lot of elves and created a nation for the current-day Nords. Those clans rivaled the old Famr, Snow Elves, and Dwemer, Deep Elves, pushing them out of power in Skyrim. After these wars, they established themselves in small clans away from the Atmaran cities until they increased in number and varied in bloodlines. Some clans kept their bloodlines since the Olden Ages but mostly died out. Some went into public, some combined their bloodlines together, and some adopted Akaviri invaders of the Tsiesi invasion of 1E 2703. All in all, these powerhouses are not your run-of-the-mill Nords. They are fierce fighters with small private armies and mysterious powers. Seelan was dissatisfied with what he heard. What are the standings of these clans with each other, Senior? I asked. They can be turned against each other when they see the threat from each other. Some clans don't mind us like those from the Bloodsail and Stormfist clans. Some doesn't even tolerate us on Nirn like the Moonblade clan. The known factions like that college and the companions are also considered some powerhouses, but can't give any scary vibe like the hidden clans. I know all that, but Ronril has a sensitive spot I heard rumors about. Let's torment him a bit. What about the Firemane clan? Ronril froze. His expressions darkened. Hee. Looks like I hit the spot. The atmosphere around him changed quickly, and he felt like another person. Even Seelan, the bastard that can't read the mood, whipped his scornful look away and tried to listen. Senior. Huh. Ronril woke up from whatever he remembered and looked at me. I was asking about the Firemane clan. I feigned innocence and asked. Ronril looked at me with an annoyed look. He took out his wineskin and poured some in his mouth. He clearly knew what I was doing. Firemane, huh? Are they something worth mentioning? I heard they are just some pity horse breeders or... Seelan started running his mouth to keep up with my provocation. I guess that's the only thing he can be of use in. I felt that Ronril was glaring at him, which caused him to swallow whatever he was about to say. When you go against the Firemans, make sure to run your way instead of running your mouth. Ronril turned hostile immediately. His mood turned dire in a second. I guess it went well done, and now Seelan will take all the scorn from Ronril, or that's what I thought. Ronril just sighed and drank another mouthful. Firemans, huh? Ronril actually talked about them. They are the worst of them. Unkillable bastards. For years they were a thorn to our side. They broke the rules of the clans and participated in the Great War just because they thought one of their kin died at our hands. Without them, the Empire would have lost an equal loss to us in the last battle, and it didn't just end there. They started showing up in Hammerfell and caused a big disturbance until that cursed day. What cursed day? 15 years ago, a woman from the Firemans got married and settled in Hammerfell. She was one of the Patriarch's daughters and someone who killed a lot of Dominion soldiers. A rumor spread that time when I was still a newly promoted justiciar about this woman being pregnant with a dangerous child. Some sort of prophecy that was kept classified. Orders came to watch that woman until the day she gives birth and sees the child. The woman and her husband, however, were aware of our spies and disappeared without a trace for a year. Until the husband, a former Blade agent, appeared in the most flashy way possible. He assaulted our ships stationed in Iliac Bay and burned everything to ash, buying enough time for his wife to run away to Cyrodiil before escaping the other way himself. A man attacked Dominion ships, burned them, and escaped? Seelan said as if trying to mock Ronril. Yes. Ronril appeared to have no power to argue with Seelan and continued. I was assigned to chase the woman with many other soldiers. We chased her all the way to the borders and almost clashed with the Empire because of our haste and ignoring to the regulations. It was a long chase that took many days, until the day we cornered her just before she reaches Skyrim in the city of Bruma. What happened in Bruma? A bloodbath. She was not alone, as it seemed that she united herself with a friend. We thought the one or two, no matter what the number is, they can do nothing against us. We thought so, Ronril said and sank into deep thoughts once again. What happened after that? What do you think? We were like moth to flame. That woman killed many pursuing teams along with the man with her. It was one-sided. Few were lucky to survive. I was the luckiest. So you let the criminal escape? Seelan started acting like himself again. I think we went too far with Ronril today. Escape? No, we didn't. We couldn't. If that child was allowed to live, what kind of terror would he bring on us? No, we didn't stop. She was pursued into Skyrim by the Nords themselves. We spread the rumor about the child, and all the clans cut ties with the Firemans, except for the Moonblades. But what can two clans do against the full might of all the hidden clans? The woman was cornered near Riften for weeks. No one assisted her, and even the man she brought ran away with the horses. 3 weeks later, she was found on the brink of death, and the child died from starving. When we tried to execute her, the clans retreated from the siege by an order of some monks who live on High Hrothgar. They are called the Greybeards. Our force clashed with the Firemans, and we couldn't hold on, so we had to hand her over to stop the fight, which later proved to be a big mistake. Mistake? Yes, if we killed that woman that day, we wouldn't have suffered her wrath after that. What did that woman do? She burned the sea. Burned. The sea? I think I heard about this somewhere. Are you talking about the Bloody Hilda? Ronril nodded and didn't say anything. The Bloody Hilda? The pirate who clashed with the Bloodsails clan and the Dominion ships for years in the northern waters. It was almost 14 years ago when she appeared. She killed and burned a lot of ships. The Empire itself had to interfere to stop her. This was a big accident and many losses were recorded. It was said that rare treasures fell into her hands. It was also said that she burned the ships she looted and never spared anyone. So the bloody Hilda was our doing. The official reports said nothing about that. Indeed, letting such a woman live was a mistake. It seems that this clan is annoying beyond reason. I will admit that what Ronral said was right. We need to destroy the big pillars before taking down the house. Pfft, you actually believe all that nonsense? Justiciar Ronral, why don't you think about retirement? You are that old, you know. Seelan couldn't resist being in shutting his trap for a second. Not even Ronral was in the mood to look at him, yet he was still yapping. Don't worry, Justiciar Ronral. The moment I see one of these filthy firemane Nords or whatever, I'll stick an arrow in. UUGH. Huh. What was that? Seelan fell from his horse on the ground. Everyone got alerted. I looked at him, and there was an arrow piercing through his neck. A spectral arrow from the Bound Bow spell. Seelan is very dead. Ambush! Ronral shouted, but it was already too late. The land around us exploded, and a lot of frost atronachs appeared around the group. What is this? Who can do such a thing in this place? There was no time to breathe. We were surrounded, and it looked dangerous. Circle formation. Hurry. Lariner, don't just stand there. Kill these atronachs. Use magic. Ronral started shouting at me. Damn it. I almost panicked. I jumped from my horse, ran into the formation. It's better to be behind their shields in such a situation. Just as I was preparing a lightning spell to deal with the atronachs, ice magic started pouring from the archer's direction. How many are there? I don't know. Just don't get rid of these atronachs first, then we can retreat. This is madness. How could these Nords prepare such an ambush? Was there anyone traveling on the road and ended up helping them? That is not the time. I need to take care of this. Pitch's soldiers stood their ground, but the power of the atronachs was overwhelming. The arrows started hunting us, and the frost magic came from between the atronachs. As we barely managed to take down half of the atronachs, we lost half of our men. Finally, the ones casting frost magic appeared. I can't believe what I am seeing. Undead. Never seen the likes of them before. What is going on here? Who are we up against? Eheha. Something strange appeared. A rider on a burning horse. No, that's a flame atronach. That looked like a horse? He was rushing like mad and broke the formation. His target is Ronral. He held a spectral spear and took Ronral by surprise. Ronral's chest wad pierced and carried away by the rider. No time to waste. The rider left a hole in the formation, enough for me to run. I will just run. The rider pinned Ronral on the ground, and his hood moved down, revealing his red hair. They were saying something to each other. I don't care now. I must run. On me. This way. Retreat. I rallied the remaining soldiers. I need as many meat shields as possible. This rider will be troublesome to face. With some effort, I took about 10 men and broke in a run. This is not turning well. The rider is already on us. And there is also another one shooting arrows. I cast haste on myself. I need at least some speed and be faster than the others. This bad. Very bad. I am getting tired. The best place for me to run now is to slide on that small slope. They won't follow me on horses there. This is better. I think I lost them. But I am all alone now. I need to run back to the ship. It would take days. Easy. Calm down. I have to be strong. I walked and walked. I could feel a presence. I need to be alert. I evoked magic and approached quietly. Nothing was here, just a small wild animal. This is as far as you go, Thalmor. We tracked you for days. A voice came from behind. When? How? Someone sneaked on me? It is the voice of a girl. I don't know who are you, be you. Save your threats for someone who has time to hear them. Now speak. Where are your men? And the people you chased? This is bad. We were being tracked. But they don't seem to be with the one made the ambush. Think. I have to distract her, then take her as a hostage. I'll talk, then I'll cast magic on her. This is the best plan. Listen. If you. Painful. Why? She dare. My hands. You bitch. You cut off my. You wa. It hurts. My. Hands. No. I can't face her. This monster. Run. I need to run. I can't do this anymore. I. Just. Have. Gods. Why? Why did he catch up? Jean's POV. 3 justiciars on horses, 30 Thalmor soldiers on foot. Such a force. They walked into the trap and everything is turning out well, but they may survive. I don't want them to survive. I had to take down a justiciar with an arrow first. These are the most annoying kind of Thalmor. Something like the law enforcers that act as judge, jury, and executioner. The most annoying thing about them is their magical power. One can't just allow them to live. The system helped in assessing the situation too, by detecting the energy from them. Thalmor Justiciar LV 27, Thalmor Justiciar LV 20, Thalmor Justiciar LV 22, Thalmor Soldier LV 12, Thalmor Soldier LV 14, and so on. I managed to take down the LV 22, but Joel couldn't get a hit on any of the other 2, and they ended up taking down half of the Atronachs. Not good. I can't let this continue. Joel, cover me. I'll go wreak some havoc. She nodded and I jumped on the fire horse and cast Bound Spear. Only one justiciar was nearly unguarded, and that was the LV-27-1. Let's take him down. Eheha. I made a charge. Feels like fun. Between this, behind that, coming through. Excuse me. And, arg. One skewered Thalmor justiciar for you. Ho ho. Bastard is putting resistance. You just have to die, sir. I took the poor elf on my spear and pinned him on the ground. This time the spear must have gone through his heart. He was dying under the fire horse while taking the spear in his chest. Must have looked cinematic from a third-person view. Screenshot. Confirmed. Please choose the generic name, damn it. The others saw the strongest one among them die in this state and broke into a run. Wait for me. Red. Hair. The justiciar I took down was still clinging to life and held my spear. Red. Hair. Blue. Eyes. Fire. Mane. Oh, why are those guys so famous? First the pirate and now him? Anyway, nice to meet you. I mocked him, but his face looked grimmer. He was dying anyway. Can't let you live, he said while trying to evoke magic. Too bad. I evoked Force Bullet as it was my fastest spell and cast at his head 3 times. Looking at him. Yep. Very dead. Disfigured and all. Don't waste the time here. Let's kill the rest. Joel was excited as ever. Killing is her hobby after all. Let's go. I rode faster than Joel, who rode slower to shoot her arrows easier, and also was pulling Move Our Luggage horse. The Thalmor were dispersed and didn't even organize their escape. They were easy to hunt. The last one was the female justiciar. She seemed to have slid on a small snow slope. Well, not bad. I will follow her on foot then. Joel, go around the slope and be careful. Pinpoint me. Joel cast Pinpoint on me so she can feel my location. Our cooperation is the best. Now, let's get this little Thalmor. On the slope I am sliding. That was fun. Let's look for that one. Is she here? Nope. There? Nope. Where did she g? Uaea. There. Something must have caught her before me. Gotta be careful here. You bitch. You cut off my. Wow. A girl did that. Scary. She has 2 swords. Curved swords. Now I can't let her see my face. Let's just put the face cover for now. I show myself up, but the Thalmor justiciar girl tried to run my way only to see me and fall on her knees. Too much for that elven superiority, isn't? I couldn't help but mock. The girl with swords looked at me, and she appeared to have put a white face veil too. But, damn. Black hair, pale skin, and red eyes. W met. I said, completely forgetting the justiciar girl I was planning to kill. The girl nodded to my greeting silently. She is the same height as me, tall for a girl. wearing an expensive-looking classy white robe, and looked so calm and peaceful, unlike what she did. Cutting someone's hands like this was brutal. I was chasing this Thalmor justiciar, or whatever. Really was going to kill her. Well, if you want to kill her, you can go ahead. Or we can kill her together. Or let me kill her. What do you think? I still need information about her team and the people they were chasing, the girl said in a very enchanting voice. I was not sure of what kind of girl that is. Already taken care of. Met the people less than an hour ago and gave them directions to the Shrine of Azura. I said, of course I killed of her team. The girl raised her brows and looked at me, not believing what I said. The Thalmor girl, however, rushed at me screaming, "You demon!" I kicked her abdomen and sent her on her butt. They killed all these Nords and now is calling me a demon for returning the favor. Reminded me of my past world all of a sudden. Will we let her bleed out or kill her? I asked. By all means, be my guest. The girl gave her blessing. Okay, a painful death it is. Smile. I approached the Thalmor girl who was looking at me with all the hate in the world and raised my fist. I was finally trying this spell on a living target. I evoked my original expert-level spell, Thunder Cookie. My right fist turned shining with a BZZZT, and I punched at the girl. Boom. It was splendid. The Thalmor girl's upper half was nowhere to be seen, and a cloud of light snow formed around the place but went down rapidly. Haha, that was one painful death. I was proud of what I did. The swords girl looked at me and was shocked. I am not sure, but that was a painless death? She said. What? Really? Yeah, it took less than a second. Come on. I was dispirited. I mean, look at the mess it caused. How can that be painless? Well, I guess everyone has his own standards of pain. She is right. I like her attitude. Anyway, after that kill, all that is left was a boy with red hair, a girl with red eyes, and a trail of red blood in between. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.